Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Margot. White Angel, are you here? You watching? I have something to show you before we start. Let me see. I'm just trying to get to the studio thing to see if it's too much with the... that I forgot that banner thing is going around. Hi, Painted Black. Oh, you're in. I'm in top chat too, so that's not good. So let me go to. Is that the studio? Studio. Editor. Studio. There we go. All right, let me think here. This one. Let me do this. Where's my editor? Here. Why can't I get this? Okay, I have to go to my scrolling text. Should I shut the scrolling text off while I'm doing this? That's not being a problem, right? No. I need this. Sponsor banner. No. Which one is it? This one? No. This one? No. Oh, here we go. Okay, never mind. I got it. I'm trying to make this a little bigger because I made this smaller last night. Now I can't make that bigger. The thing on top. Let's see. Oh, I know what to do. Hold on. I think I have to click into it like that. Make it a little bit larger. Last night it let me play with it like crazy and let me make it smaller because you guys said you couldn't see the top word and now it's tiny. Alright, I'll worry about it another time. I'm not going to make you guys nuts. Okay. Now where's the... Here we are. Sorry, guys. All right, so Painted Black, Liz Tops, good to see you. Hope Linda Uribe's doing all right. Hey, Renee Gooden. I haven't seen you in a long time. How's everybody? Let's see. Puddin'. Kevin. Linda. Margot. Sherry. Linda Uribe, are you around? Hey, I'm trying not to see how to say your name. I'm just going to call you, is it Fair Dinkum? Hi, Fair. I'm just going to call you Fair because I really can't see the rest of your name. Frilly Farmhouse, hi. So, White Angel, if you're around, and I think you are, I just want to show you, this is the, I'm not done with it, but this is the butterfly riser. I have to put the little legs on it, and then you want me to glitterize the butterflies and stuff, and probably put another top coat on them, and maybe we'll put some glitterizer on these guys. So I've got that, and then your planter, and I know you want me to glitterize the butterflies here, but there's your planter. So I worked on those today, and then I'm going to be hopefully finishing this shabby chic one. I've got to put the legs on it, and that should be in the sale hopefully tomorrow, maybe with some other stuff. We'll see how far I get. I have to color my hair too. That would be good. It's ridiculous. And cut it because it's ridiculous. So anyway, hi to Scooter. Who's pleasant? Anyway, let me see. I probably missed a bunch of people, but did you guys watch the Troconis trial today? If you did, there was a lot of evidence shown to the court of what was found in those garbage bags, which is, let me just show you real quick something. Picture, please. You know, I used to love Mr. Rogers, and he used to have that picture on his wall, and, you know, picture. And we actually have picture now. Isn't that great? Who would have thunk it, right? Well, picture, show us what was at the trial today. And this is some of the stuff we saw, and it was gruesome, okay? And the defense attorney was arguing, like, well, why are you showing, he makes so many objections, right? Why are you showing the white t-shirt? Well, showing the white t-shirt because it had a substance that was the consistency and color of blood. And there was a bath towel. And there were these zip ties with blood. And this was Jennifer Dulos' bra and her shirt, which the shirt, I believe, is the same brand of shirt that Murdaugh was wearing. What is it? I'm just escaping my name right now. It's the, oh my gosh, I'm seeing a V. And then the gloves, right? And there was other in the garbage. They went into these garbage containers. And they can't find the weather tamer mat, even though they see that in the surveillance footage that Fotis Dulos put something against a dumpster that looked like that mat, but that mat was not able to be retrieved. But there's all of this. And the bra was cut. So, and the shirt was cut. Vineyard Vines. Yeah, I was just gonna, you know what? When you did that, I thought about it the same time as that. Vineyard Vines. I was like, Vineyard Vines. Yeah. Gosh, that's like pretty bad, right? 2 people killed or you know, involved in these horrific cases with those Vineyard Vine shirts. But, well, Fotis then stripped her body, and, you know, I'm coming to think, did Fotis use any kind of a substance? You know what I mean? Think Breaking Bad. So anyway, this is all found, and this was the majority of today's testimony. You just colored yours. You always have jet black hair. You use a cap. It's really great. No ammonia. You use, oh, no, I'm sorry, bio cap. It's really great. No ammonia. No nasties. Oh, great. So, now the other thing is, when you talk about the defense attorney objecting all the time, so why is he doing that? Because there's 2 reasons. Defense attorneys have to have a balance of, like, when to make objections, because once they make an objection, then they can use that in an appeal. If they just sat there and didn't object to anything, it's going to make their appeal very difficult. But then if you're objecting to everything, you're going to really piss off the jury, and that's not a place to go either, right? So what her attorney seems to be doing is like, I don't want to miss something, so I'm going to object to everything, which is now you can actually, you know, just observe the courtroom. It's not, he seems like he's pissing off the jury. That's what I want to say. But anyway, that was majority of testimony today. And again, the defense will be saying like, okay, well, this is Fotis. She might have been in the school, oh my gosh, in the vehicle, but she was on the phone. She didn't know what he was doing. Well, wait till they get when, they're forgetting that we know what happened with this case and what happens, and when she's back and forth to the two houses, and then you bring out that other vehicle and all the shady stuff, the car wash trips, everything that comes after that. And I think people might have forgotten that. So while they can object and say, oh, she was in there, or she didn't know what he was doing, well, wait till you find out what he was doing, right? Because, and you know what, it just makes me think, and I think we did this, I don't know when this was, earlier on the summer or whatever, but hold on one second. Okay. Let me pull over this little goodie. Just so you're remembering what Michelle Troconis was arrested for, right? Picture, please. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just in a little goofy mood tonight. Okay, so here it is. Conspiracy to commit murder, Michelle Troconis. $2 million bail. Okay, so we don't have to go through this whole thing because this is a long arrest warrant, but that's your affiant. This is Detective John Kimball. Due to the complex, interwoven, nonlinear nature of the facts and circumstances of this case. Now think about that. How many times do you see that in a arrest warrant? Due to the complex, interwoven, nonlinear nature of the facts and circumstances of this case, this affidavit includes paragraph headings in bold text, and some facts include source citations in brackets. On Friday, May 24th of 2019, at 6:59 p.m., the New Canaan Police Department received the initial report of a missing person identified as Jennifer Dulos of 69 Wells Lane, New Canaan, Connecticut, referred to in this affidavit as Jennifer or as victim. NCPD officers responded to 69 Wells Lane residence where they located suspected blood evidence on a Range Rover parked in the center garage bay. And we saw that in the footage there, right? Jennifer was not located inside the residence. NCPD Investigation Division Officer Thomas Patton responded to the scene and located additional evidence indicative of a crime scene. NCPD contacted Connecticut State Police for assistance, and detectives from the WDMCS Troop G office and the crime van responded to the scene. So the residence included a 3-bay garage. The center bay contained the 2014 Range Rover. We saw that. While searching and processing the garage, there were multiple areas within the garage which presumptively tested positive for blood. And we saw this, and there was even a bloody partial footprint. Investigators observed spatter stains on the driver's side of the Range Rover and on the garage floor north left of the Range Rover. Spatter stains are blood stains that result from airborne blood drops created when an external force is applied to liquid blood. Detectives also noted indications that the scene had been altered by an attempt to clean it. That's all the paper towels were gone, and there was evidence of cleanup. Detectives determined a 2017 Chevrolet Suburban that was registered to Jennifer Dulos was missing from the residential garage. Remember, Jennifer was supposed to go into the city, and then her babysitter was supposed to come and bring 4 of the 5 children out to Jennifer's mom's house in the city. And Jennifer was going to take the Range Rover because it's smaller than the Suburban and it's easier to park. So again, when the babysitter came and saw that the Range Rover was there, it was strange. And her vehicle was missing, and it was found abandoned at approximately 7 p.m. on Lapham Road, adjacent to the southwest portion of Waveney Park in New Canaan. The vehicle was unoccupied, its running lights were on, and its transmission was left in reverse. Jennifer was not found inside the vehicle or in the surrounding area. Investigators found stain spatter on the passenger side of the vehicle. Forensic results from the crime scene. I remember going over this all those years ago. Evidence recovered from the crime scene, the 69 Wallace Lane, was submitted to the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so a blood-like stain on the Land Rover hood was a DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. A blood-like stain on the Land Rover bumper matches Jennifer Dulos' DNA. A blood-like stain on the Land Rover rear fender matches Jennifer Dulos. A blood-like stain from the kitchen sink faucet was a mixture of the DNA of Jennifer and Fotis Dulos. A blood-like stain on the sink cabinet door was a positive match for the blood of Jennifer Dulos. Swabbing the inside knob plate of the mudroom door was a DNA match to Fotis Dulos. A blood-like stain on the garage door was a match to Jennifer Dulos, and a blood-like stain from the east garage wall was a match to Jennifer Dulos. Detectives have identified the following persons as central to this investigation. Fotis Dulos was the estranged husband of Jennifer Dulos. He resided at 4 Jefferson Crossing in Farmington, Connecticut. Dulos owned and operated a construction company named the 4 Group, Inc. He did this out of an office at his house. Dulos and the victim were married in 2006, and together they have 5 children, 2 sets of twins. Michelle Troconis was the girlfriend of Fotis Dulos, who resided with him the Jefferson Crossing home. Pavel, I think they call him Paul, really. Oh no, this is the worker. Gumieni was a full-time employee of 4 Group, and he worked closely with Fotis Dulos. This is the guy whose truck they used, that red truck, and they replaced the seat. They had him replace the seat, but this guy sensed something might be amiss, and he kept the original seat in his shed, and he gave it to the investigators. Here, Kent Mawhinney. This is the guy that his wife is so lucky to be alive. Kent Mawhinney is a practicing attorney and a personal friend of Fotis Dulos. And then you have Andreas Toutsiaridis. It's a friend of Dulos's in Greece. The vehicles that are involved here is that Chevy Suburban, a 2014 Jeep Cherokee that was registered to 4 Group, the Chevy Suburban registered to 4 Group, a Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, that's the one they were observed in Hartford dumping all that stuff, right? That was registered to 4 Group and commonly operated by Fotis Dulos. And then here's that Toyota Tacoma truck, the one with the seat change, that was registered to Gumieni's wife, Barbara Gumieni. And according to Gumieni, his wife normally drove her own vehicle, and he used the Toyota Tacoma for transportation to and from the Farmington area in connection with his employment by Fotis Dulos. During Gumieni's work week, he indicated he was usually provided a 4-group vehicle to operate. So he would normally bring that vehicle there, and then he would drive one of the company vehicles. Initial contact with Fotis Dulos was on May 25th, 2019 at approximately 2:47 p.m. Fotis Dulos entered the lobby of the New Canaan Police Department, where he met Officer Patton and CSP Detective Christopher Allegro nearly 3 hours after his initial expected arrival. So he came 3 hours late. Fashionably late. Not really. When asked about his attorney, Dulos indicated the lawyer, Jacob Petranker, was outside talking on the phone. Dulos asked investigators if there was any news on his wife's disappearance and was told detectives were seeking his help in finding her. Officer Patton told Fotis that he would be entering a secure area of the facility and asked if he had any weapons or contraband. As Fotis Dulos began pulling items from his clothing pockets, almost immediately he began patting his own pockets and muttering, "Where is my phone?" At approximately this time, Petranker entered the lobby and announced to police that Dulos would be providing no interview and that he and Dulos would be leaving. Detectives were surprised to hear that Fotis was not going to help in the search of Jennifer, and they began to look for clarification from Dulos and Petranker. As this discussion was taking place, Petranker hands Dulos the cell phone he was carrying. Detective Allegro spoke up to ask Dulos, "Is that your phone?" And Dulos responded affirmatively. Detective Allegro asked to see the phone, and Dulos handed over the phone with no apparent hesitation. Observing the phone was locked with a 4-digit passcode, Detective Allegro asked for the unlock code. Dulos provided the code as 0000. That's great, Fotis. And Detective Allegro unlocked the phone. As he placed the phone into airplane mode, a setting which removes the cell phone from the network, thus preventing the data on the phone from being remotely erased, Petranker asked Detective Allegro what he was doing. Detective Allegro responded that he was securing the cell phone and the data on it. Because of his belief that the phone contained evidence that related to the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos. He further indicated that a search and seizure warrant, SSW, would be sought to authorize a search of the cell phone for such evidence. Dulos responded by saying nothing. NCPD surveillance video documented the transaction and showed Dulos appearing agitated and confused. Petranker asserted that police had no grounds to seize the cell phone because they had no warrant. Detectives acknowledged that a SSW would be sought and the cell phone would not be searched until the lawful SSW had been issued. Their actions were restricted to the securing of the cell phone and the prevention of the potential destruction of evidence contained within the phone. Petranker responded by saying he needs a moment with his client, and both men walked out. So they get a search warrant for Fotis Dulos' primary cell phone. The same day Fotis Dulos' cell phone was seized, detectives presented an affidavit in Stamford Superior Court outlining the facts in the case. Okay. Initial Hartford information on 5/26/2019. Now, see, this is going to be pertinent. This is what was in court today, so it's always good to go over this. And refresh ourselves because it has been some time between now this happening and the trial. A forensic examination of Fotis' cell phone provided information that his handset was in the area of Albany Avenue in Hartford during the 7 o'clock hour of May 24th, 2019. The Albany Avenue video canvas, starting on 5/27/2019, WDMCS detectives began to canvass the area of Fairmont Street, Green Street, and Albany Avenue in the city of Hartford, which resulted in the development of footage showing a large, dark-colored pickup truck that's consistent with the 2014 Ford Raptor registered to 4 Group traveling in the area on 5/24/2019 at approximately 7:40 p.m. Hartford C4 surveillance video on 5/30/2019. Detectives contacted the Hartford Police Department, Special Operations Group, Capital City Command Center, and requested their assistance in determining Dulos' activities in the area of Albany Avenue. C4 located a male wearing a light-colored shirt, dark pants, and a ball cap. This individual was subsequently identified as Fotis Dulos. He was observed operating a large black-colored pickup truck, which was later identified as a 2014 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor pickup truck. It was registered to the Ford Group, Inc. A female passenger, again, this is whose trial it is, allegedly, in the Ford Raptor, was shown on surveillance and subsequently identified as Dulos' girlfriend, Michelle Troconis. C4 mapped out Dulos' movements as he deposited multiple black-colored plastic garbage bags, that's what was shown in court today, into several trash receptacles, also shown where they were during the evening of 5/24/2019, and the mapping includes the following points. A black Ford Raptor enters the area of Albany Avenue, covered by Hartford police surveillance cameras at 7:31 p.m. 7:32 p.m., a Ford Raptor is shown traveling eastbound along Albany Avenue. 7:32, a Ford Raptor turns right from Albany Avenue onto southbound Milford Street. As the vehicle passes through the camera's field of view, several plastic bags are seen in the rear of the pickup truck. At this point, the truck travels through a portion of city streets that are not covered by surveillance cameras, and that occurs for approximately 7 minutes. A Ford Raptor emerges onto Albany Avenue at 7:39 p.m., turns right to travel eastbound again at approximately 7:39 p.m. The vehicle stops at Albany Avenue and Garden Street, and a male gets out of the driver's seat. He grabs a black plastic bag, places it into a trash receptacle, and the camera angle shows the rear bed of the truck is now almost empty of those bags. So the 7 minutes that he was out of the camera's view, he got rid of a lot of that stuff. A Ford Raptor is shown at 7:41 from behind, traveling westbound on Albany Avenue and stopping at Green Street. The male driver emerges from the driver's seat, retrieves the last garbage bag while standing to the rear of the truck and discards it into the trash can. A Ford Raptor travels westbound along Albany Avenue until it passes out of the area of surveillance coverage at approximately 7:50 p.m. Then C4 video additional showed Fotis Dulos removed what appeared to be a large rigid object from the rear of the Ford Raptor. Now this is that weather tamer, allegedly that weather tamer mat that would have been in the back of Jennifer Dulos' Chevy Suburban. And what they're thinking is that Jennifer Dulos was murdered in her garage, and Fotis Dulos placed her in the back of the Chevy Suburban on this weather tamer mat, and that is what he leaned up against the trash receptacle. The weather tech, not tamer. That's a windbreaker. So they saw him do that, this rigid thing, and lean it up against the building because he couldn't get it into the dumpster. The object was consistent with the appearance of a WeatherTech brand rear cargo liner that was determined to be missing from the back of Jennifer's 2017 Chevy Suburban. Now, that babysitter said they always had it back there. The kids threw wet, muddy, training with sports bags back there and stuff and the like, right? Okay. So the video then showed an unidentified person removing what appeared to be a light-colored piece of material containing a large blood-like stain, and the item appeared consistent with one or of two small camping pillows, which Jennifer's nanny, Lauren Almeida, and she was on the stand, reported were missing from the garage storage shelves at 69 Wells Lane. Investigators subsequently identified and interviewed the homeless man who told investigators he had seen what he described as a bloody pillow, but he had not taken the item. Recovery of evidence from Albany Avenue Detectives checked the trash receptacles, and they recovered garbage bags that were consistent with the black garbage bags that were shown in the surveillance video, which appeared to be cut clothing and undergarments with blood-like substance. You just saw those. They were shown to the court today. Hi, White Angel. Go rewind the video I showed your butterfly stuff, please. And other household trash items. Numerous items were recovered from the trash, and they corresponded to the locations on this surveillance footage. Okay, so they got him that he has Jennifer's bloody bra, her bloody shirt, the bloody zip ties, all of this in different trash receptacles around Hartford. They've got it all. They bring it in, and, there it goes, right? So then they showed all this in court today, if you're watching. And here's some of the stuff they found, right? Hey, Justina, thank you for the super sticker. They found a blood-like stain on a paper towel, DNA match to Jennifer, a sponge, DNA match to Jennifer, a mop handle, DNA match to Jennifer, a black garden glove with a DNA match to Fotis Dulos, black husky gloves that you just saw, DNA match to Jennifer Dulos on the exterior of those gloves, a vineyard vine striped shirt, extra small, DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. I showed that just to you right over there. They had a bra, DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. They had a clear poncho without a hood and a clear poncho with a hood. Well, why would they be wearing ponchos? Right? Keep themselves clean? Yeah. But they both had DNA matches to Jennifer Dulos. The zip ties with DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. That bath towel I showed you, that DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. Plastic garbage bags taped together, DNA match to both Jennifer Dulos and Michelle Troconis. Then they had a black plastic bag with black tape, DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. They had 4 pieces of a black bag with duct tape and the right index fingerprint of Fotis Dulos. Torn black plastic garbage bag tied in a knot with one side with red-brown stains. And they had on those the right middle fingerprint of Fotis Dulos and the left middle fingerprint of Fotis Dulos. The swab of the bag, interior of the knot, was a DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. The blood-like stain on the poncho was a DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. The swabbing from a trash bag, DNA match, Jennifer Dulos. The blood-like stain from the exterior of the non-damaged plastic bag, DNA match to Jennifer Dulos. The swabbing of the sticky side of the duct tape, DNA match, Jennifer Dulos. And the swabbing of the bag opening and separate bag portion. It's all DNA match to Jennifer Dulos, to DNA match to Fotis Dulos, and DNA match to Michelle Troconis. Okay, now the license plates, which I showed you yesterday, they were recovered. Now, the officer on the stand told the story that they saw the surveillance video and they saw him putting a bag, but they saw him with something white in his hand. And he put this into a storm drain. And it was recovered. It was a FedEx envelope and it contained those 2 license plates, but those license plates were altered. Remember? I showed it to you. So he placed Fotis Dulos. They saw a white colored item into a storm drain at the intersection of Albany Avenue and Adams Street. Detectives and Metropolitan District Commission personnel responded to the intersection and they accessed the drain. A large white colored FedEx envelope was removed from the drain. The envelope contained 2 Connecticut passenger plates and they appeared to read 5T6WBU, but on closer inspection, they discovered the plate had been altered using what appeared to be blue tape and a clear adhesive. The plate, when they ran that plate, came back as, no information. So they then uncovered the real number of the plate, which was 516WDJ, and that came back with license plates canceled on a 2007 Chevrolet Suburban that was registered to Troconis Dulos. So at this point, you have the arrest, number 1, of Troconis Dulos and Michelle Troconis. Based on the above facts and circumstances, detectives sought an arrest warrant for Dulos and Troconis on charges stemming from the disposal of evidence in Jennifer's disappearance along Albany Avenue in Hartford. On 6/1/2019, arrest warrants for Dulos and Troconis were authorized and executed, charging both individuals with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence and for hindering the prosecution in the first degree. Initial interview with Michelle Troconis. As of the drafting of this affidavit, Troconis Dulos has provided absolutely no cooperation to law enforcement in the investigation into Jennifer's disappearance. Investigators have turned to Dulos' girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, for assistance. Starting on 5/24/2019, NCPD personnel reached out several times to Troconis, leaving multiple phone messages for her to call them back. Troconis failed to respond to any of the NCPD messages. On 6/2/2019, detectives conducted the first interview with Troconis at NCPD, New Canaan Police Department headquarters, following her arrest on the above charges. Her attorney, Andrew Bowman, was present in the room during all questioning. During this initial interview, Troconis offered her first version of the events of the date of Jennifer's disappearance, Friday, 5/24/2019, as well as the circumstances that led up to that day. Her explanation of alibi scripts, 6/3/2019. The day after Troconis' first interview, WDMCS crime van detectives were executing a search warrant at 4 Jefferson Crossing. That's where Troconis was living and where she was staying with Troconis. When they located a set of handwritten notes, these documents came to be referred to by investigators as the alibi script. The 2-page document included 2 distinct handwriting styles, later confirmed by Troconis to be her own handwriting and of Dulos. The alibi script was an outline of the activities of Michelle Troconis and Troconis Dulos for the dates of 5/24/2019 and 5/25/2019. It was laid out in approximately hourly increments. The original handwriting script, alibi script, was recovered from a trash bin in the 4-group office, and photocopies were in a briefcase. The alibi script included a narrative, which was nearly identical to the information provided by Troconis in her first interview, and it represented an account of 5/24/2019 and 5/25/2019, which Dulos and Troconis together had authorized, and which narrative Michelle Troconis presented nearly verbatim in her first interview. In her second 2 interviews, Michelle Troconis' account of those dates diverged from the alibi script, particularly when confronted with evidence, much of which was unknown to investigators during the first interview. It is therefore important to describe the various sources of information developed thus far during this investigation. Oh, you love them? Yeah, I'm not done with them, but I'm glad that you like them so far. Okay, so the interview number 2. In her second interview, she provides the following reasons for why she and Dulos had written out the alibi scripts. Troconis states that on either Saturday, May 25th, or Sunday, May 27th, she was present for a phone conversation between Troconis and his family attorney, Jacob Petranker, in which Petranker instructed Dulos to write out a precise timeline of his actions on Wednesday, May 22nd, the date of his last visitation with his children, which had occurred in part at Jennifer's home. Troconis reported the attorney had told Troconis to write down everything he had done during that visit to Jennifer's house. Petranker specifically told Troconis to record whether or not he had entered Jennifer's home. Troconis remembered being surprised that Dulos had been to Jennifer's home that day because Dulos had told her the visitation occurred at Grace Farms in New Canaan. Now, Troconis continues, Fotis goes, no, I did not go in the house, and Petranker said, make sure, where did you guys eat? Dulos continued to say, no, I didn't go into the house, but yes, I hugged the kids. We played. I don't know if a hair went in. Following the call, Troconis confronted Dulos. I'm like, Fotis, where were you on Wednesday? Because you told me you went to Grace Farms. Fotis admits he was at Jennifer's house and added that they had eaten outside. Troconis reported that Fotis had told her, Jacob was saying, write down everything as you were by the time you spent in Jennifer's house. Where did you eat? Did you put any plates inside the house? Do you remember going to the bathroom? Dulos repeated to Troconis that he had not entered Jennifer's home. Well, his fingerprints are on the inside of the mudroom, right? Hi, Nora. Detectives pointed out that in recording their timelines that both she and Fotis had chosen to omit the trip to the dump trash, the trip to dump trash in Hartford, to which Michelle Troconis responds, I know. When Troconis was told this looked bad, hey, Michelle, this looks bad. She said that Fotis had failed to record potentially incriminating information. And she says, okay, I know. So they're telling, hey, this looks bad. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know. Right? Okay, I know. All right. And that they left out potentially incriminating information. Okay, I know. She denied that Dulos had told her to leave certain items out of the script. She reported that Dulos had told her to write out the highlights of her day's events. When asked if Fotis was dictating what story Troconis should tell police, she responded, well, obviously was for me to say it, but he was trying to be more accurate, but with a lie. That's what I'm saying. He was trying to fill things that I don't remember with things that it wasn't true. Oh boy. Troconis submitted to 2 subsequent voluntary interviews in the presence of her attorney in which she presented vastly different accounts of the events of 5/24/2019. Additionally, the later seizure and search warrant execution of Dulos' and Troconis' cell phones provided another source of information. Detectives also secured various sources of residential and commercial surveillance footage, and therefore these sources of information for Troconis included: number 1, interview number 1, 6/2/2019. 2, the alibi scripts on 6/3/2019. We missed my birthday there. Interview number 2, 6/6/2019. Interview number 3, 8/13/19. Troconis' cell phone data, Dulos' cell phone data, and residential surveillance. Troconis' interview claims. In each of her interviews, Troconis offered claims which conflicted with her other interviews and even sometimes portions of the same interview. When she was confronted with conflicts in the information she was providing, whether they be inconsistencies with other answers or contradictions to surveillance sources, Troconis would only provide more truthful information, sometimes modifying or changing her answer in the middle of it. Fotis' whereabouts. During her 3 interviews, Troconis provided a variety of explanations when asked if Dulos was home at 4 Jefferson Crossing in Farmington when she awoke on the morning of May 24th. Troconis' statements included that on May 24th, both she and Dulos had woke up at their residence at 6:40 a.m. She told investigators that she and Fotis had showered. They were intimate together before she made breakfast for her daughter and then drove her to school. This is inconsistent with information from the forensic download of Dulos' cell phone, which indicated that on 5/24/2019, the alarm activated at 4:20 a.m. was shut off at 4:21 a.m. When pressed on whether Dulos was home that morning, Michelle admitted, so maybe he wasn't home the entire morning, but Michelle continued to still provide Dulos with an alibi for that morning from 6:40 until 8:15 a.m. She reported last seeing Fotis that morning at 8:15 a.m. in the four-group office with Mawini, the attorney. That other attorney, his friend attorney. Troconis explained that she was out of the house from 9 to 11:30 a.m., which provides her with plausible deniability for that period. When asked to clarify if Dulos was home on the morning of 5/24, Michelle does not answer the question. Instead, she immediately began telling investigators what she had been doing by saying, all my morning I have doing, he was in the house, I have texts. Detectives continued to ask about Dulos' whereabouts, and Troconis ultimately acknowledged, so maybe he wasn't home. Okay. Interview number 2. From the very beginning of the second interview, Michelle Troconis continued to lie about seeing Dulos on the morning of 5/24/2019. Troconis was asked if Fotis is at the house when she wakes up at 6:40. She first reported he was there when we woke up. He was in the house. When she was told by investigators they had evidence showing Dulos was not in the house, she replied, okay. Troconis proceeded to cover her face with her hands, wipe her eyes, and then she tried to change the subject. Troconis' attorney, Andrew Bowman, tried to clarify with Troconis to see if she actually saw Dulos on the morning of 5/24/2019. Troconis hedged her answer, but acquiesced that she did not see Fotis Dulos on that day until between 1 and 2 p.m. Troconis was asked if there was tension between Fotis and herself because of his divorce and problems surrounding it. Her response was, we fight all the time. Detectives asked Troconis if the turmoil might be a motivating factor to get rid of Jennifer, and Troconis reported that Dulos had expressed to her that he never thought Jennifer would do this to him and that he never saw this side of her. Troconis also conveyed Dulos had told her, sometimes I hope she disappears. Sorry, I needed a drink. Just get a drink here. Okay. Troconis' statements in the third interview included investigators asking if she's ready to admit that she was not 100% truthful with investigators during her first 2 interviews, and Michelle hesitates before answering yes. Investigators asked Troconis if Dulos was home when she shut off her alarm on May 24th at 6:40 a.m. Troconis began shaking her head left to the right as she responded, no. Detectives confirmed he was not there. She answers, no. Investigators asked Michelle if she showered that morning with Dulos, and she said, no, I didn't. Troconis ultimately admitted that she had not seen Dulos in the bedroom, in the shower, or anywhere else in the house that morning until noon when Dulos called her up for lunch. The 4-group meeting and Dulos' cell phone. Troconis told investigators in her first interview that there was a 4-group meeting on the morning of 5/24 in the office area for Jefferson Crossing, which was attended by Dulos and Kent Mawini. Troconis' account was contradicted by her subsequent claims and by Mawini himself. Remember, he was arrested, and he's probably singing like a canary. Troconis reported that Dulos was in the 4-group office section of the residence conducting a business meeting with his attorney, Kent Mawini, the morning of 5/24/2019 at approximately 8:15 a.m. Michelle ultimately told 3 different versions of this meeting. Michelle first said she saw Mawini and Fotis Dulos both sitting at a table talking with one another. Later, Michelle indicated that She only heard Mawhinney and Dulos talking, but never saw the two of them together sitting at the table. And finally, Michelle reported that she only heard Mawhinney talking, but did not see or hear Fotis Dulos. Troconis stated she greeted Mawhinney in the four-group office that morning. Now, in an interview that Mawhinney admitted to investigators, he was at the four-group office that morning, but he said he never saw Michelle Troconis. Interview number 2 in this interview, Troconis' statements included: Troconis was asked if Mawhinney was in the four-group office on the morning of 5/24, to which she nodded her head and said, "Yes, that I did see." She stated that Mawhinney had a meeting that morning with Dulos. She continued to maintain that Dulos was present in the office at approximately 8:30 a.m. Troconis added that she greeted Mawhinney by saying, "Hi." When Troconis was asked if she knew the whereabouts of Dulos' cell phone that morning, she replied that she thought Dulos had his cell phone. When asked if Dulos would normally carry his cell phone with him, Troconis responded yes and no, but a lot yes. Troconis answered that it would be unusual for Dulos to be without his phone, even for a few hours. Troconis left open the possibility that Dulos' cell phone had left his cell phone behind accidentally. But when questioned, Troconis reported Dulos had told her he did not forget his cell phone on 5/24/2019. Interview number 3. During her third interview, Troconis provided the following information. Troconis told detectives that after returning from dropping off her daughter at school, she had gone into the four-group office and had seen Mawhinney at the far end of the glass table. Upon seeing Mawhinney, she said, "Good morning," and he responded, "Hello, good morning." Troconis then noticed that Dulos' cell phone was sitting on the table, and she found it unusual that the cell phone was there at a time when Dulos was not present, and his whereabouts were unknown to her. Under repeated questioning by detectives, Troconis was unwilling to say that Dulos was not at the residence. She would only say that she did not see Dulos during the morning, not in the bedroom, not in the kitchen, not in the four-group office, and that she did not know his whereabouts during the entire morning. Having seen his phone on the desk, Troconis reported that she assumed Dulos was at the residence. "I thought Dulos was there because Kent was there, but I didn't see him," Fotis Dulos. "I didn't see him." Troconis later added, "Back then, I always thought he was in the house, but thinking, I never saw him. I never heard his voice, so obviously he wasn't, or probably he wasn't in the house." An incoming phone call from Andreas T. I'm just going to call him Andreas T. Dulos' phone record showed an incoming call to his cell phone on 5/24/2019 at 8:24 a.m., and this call was prearranged by Fotis Dulos the previous day with his friend Andreas, who lives in Greece. Interview number 1, the incoming call from Andreas was not mentioned by Troconis during the first interview. Interview number 2, Troconis did not discuss the call from Greece during this interview. She continued to claim no knowledge that Dulos did not have a cell phone that day. Interview number 3. In this interview, Troconis changed her entire story regarding the presence or the absence of Dulos' cell phone the day by acknowledging Dulos' cell phone was sitting on the four-group office at the table as she and Kent Mawhinney stood in the office, and that it received an incoming call on that date. The phone rang, and it was a call from, well, it said Andreas. And Kent stood up. According to Troconis, Mawhinney motioned for her to answer the call. In answering a question from Attorney Bowman, Troconis responded, he, Mawhinney, said, like, "There's a phone ringing. Are you going to do something with the phone or the call?" I picked up the phone. Troconis stated that she knew Andreas is a childhood friend of Dulos who lives in Greece, but that she was not sure if it was him calling. Troconis also indicated that she heard static when she answered the cell phone and that it was difficult to hear. Troconis reported she then heard the Greek word for hello and she responded, "Hola," the Spanish word for hello. Troconis explained that the call was short and lasted only a few seconds before ending. Dulos' cell phone data shows a 17-second phone call. Troconis stated, "And I'm pretty sure it was Andreas's voice." Troconis indicated that there was no follow-up phone call and that soon after the call she left the office, leaving Dulos' cell phone sitting on the table. Troconis provided herself with several methods for investigators to rule out her presence at the crime scene on the morning of 5/24/2019. During her initial interview, she made the following claim. She left Jefferson Crossing at approximately 9:10 a.m. on 5/24, and she dropped off an item to a friend. Thereby, she provided herself with an in-person alibi before traveling north to Simsbury Stop and Shop, where she took photographs of herself and the store robot. Well, they really premeditated this, huh? They had all of this, all down to go to the store and get photographs with the store robot, providing a secondary alibi. On her way home, she stopped by an additional address in West Simsbury, where she met a different friend, providing a third alibi. When asked if Dulos was home on the morning of 5/24, she responded by telling detectives that her locations were substantiated by photographs and texts on her cell phone. She did not answer the actual question asked. On interview number 2, without any prompting, Michelle Troconis provided a description of the clothing she was wearing at the Simsbury Stop and Shop. For investigators to help them find her on the store surveillance. Okay. And then detectives continued to question Troconis about the alibi scripts, which Troconis admitted having written with Dulos. Although she appeared to deflect more of the onus for writing the document onto Dulos, investigators pointed out that he wrote notes for Michi, which were false. Troconis grudgingly admitted that the portions of the alibi scripts were factually inaccurate and that she had nonetheless provided these falsehoods to police as facts. Troconis' lunch with Dulos on 5/24. Troconis was inconsistent when questioned about Dulos' arrival at the home on Jefferson Crossing for their lunch together on 5/24. In the first interview, Troconis reported returning to Jefferson Crossing at approximately 12 p.m. She stated the Ford Raptor was not on the property because Gumieni was driving it. Troconis stated that Ford Group Chevy Suburban was there. Detectives asked Michelle Troconis if anyone else was at the house at noon, and she responded, "I had lunch with Fotis, but later, not immediately." Detectives asked Troconis to be clear if Fotis Dulos was home when Troconis returned to the house as late as noon. Troconis responded, "He probably can be because he has the office on top. I mean, I didn't look for him." Troconis reported a different time frame to the lunch date she ate with Dulos on 5/24/2019. Interview number 1, Troconis first reported 1 p.m. She then changed the time from 1 to 2. Interview number 2, sometime prior to 1 p.m. Interview number 3, 1:30 p.m. Between noon and 1:30 p.m. And in the alibi scripts between noon and 1 p.m. Surveillance shows the Toyota Tacoma pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road at 12:25 p.m. During a second interview with Michelle Troconis, she explained when Dulos returned home from lunch that day, he was wearing jeans and a light shirt with short sleeves, similar to polo, whereas during the third interview, she claimed that he was wearing a collared button-down shirt with the sleeves rolled up and he appeared normal. In interview number 3, in this interview, Troconis admitted she could not account for Dulos' whereabouts on the morning of 5/24/2019. When asked if she could confirm Dulos' whereabouts on the morning of 5/24/2019, she acknowledged she could not. Troconis claimed that she had not found it unusual for Dulos to have absolutely no contact with her during the entire morning of 5/24/2019. She claimed on some days they speak 20 times, while on other days they had no contact at all. Troconis claimed that she had not found it on... Okay, hold on. Sorry. 80 Mountain Spring Road. This is that other house. This is like a whole bunch of other shady stuff happened here. Remember this? Okay. This property located at 80 Mountain Spring Road is a large, isolated property. It's owned by the Ford Group. It includes a massive 11,000 plus square foot mansion with 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, and 3 full baths, situated on a 5-acre lot. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Picture. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay. Picture, please. Okay, so this is 80 Mountain Spring Road. We're going to hear a lot about this house. 80 Mountain Spring Road here. Get over there. What are you doing? Get over there. Hold on a minute. Okay. Come on. Get over here. You don't want to go over there, do you? Okay, let me get rid of you. Bring you. Okay, there you go. Okay, here's the house. Get rid of this crap. Can we go full screen on this? So, look at the house. There's the driveway. There's the garage doors. Okay, now you're going to hear quite a story about this house. They were cleaning this house, okay? Yeah. You know, he always did these mud rooms, which they called them the mud room, like when you came in. You remember in Jennifer's house, she had the floor-to-ceiling cubbies over there. Okay, so there's the house. All right, so now that you have that in your head, let's go back to this, okay? So 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington, this property, you heard about that. In her initial interview, Troconis provides the following information. She reports that Fotis Dulos called her on her phone to tell her they had to go over to 80 Mountain Spring Road to clean the house in preparation for a client meeting the next morning. She described it as common for them to use their cell phones to call one another. And he told her she had to bring a vacuum, a Swiffer mop, paper towels, Clorox spray, and garbage bags. Troconis reported that she and Dulos drove the 2.1 miles to 80 Mountain Spring Road in separate vehicles, sometime between 2:15 and 3 p.m. The residential surveillance shows that Dulos is driving a 2015 Chevy Suburban, and he's followed by Troconis driving a 2014 Jeep Cherokee that's registered to the Ford Group, and they arrive at 80 Mountain Spring Road at 1:36 p.m. Soon after arriving, Michelle reports that she discovered the vacuum she brought didn't work. Oh boy, pity, pity. She explained she had to return to Jefferson Crossing to obtain a small broom. In order to clarify her story, detectives asked Michelle what she first saw when she drove into the driveway of 80 Mountain Spring Road. She reported seeing the Suburban already parked with Fotis standing inside. Troconis indicated that at approximately 3 p.m. she returned to Jefferson Crossing. She explained the way the Jeep was parked, it was easier to drive the Suburban. Troconis reported that she went back to 80 Mountain Spring Road between 3:40 and 4 p.m. When she arrived, she observed Dulos talking on his phone out in the area of the driveway where the cars are parked. Troconis began cleaning windows, but then gave up because she realized the house was too big. Get out of here. Interview number 2. Troconis continued to claim she did not know what Dulos was doing on the property. When Troconis was told that Dulos had killed his wife and involved her in the cleanup, she responded by saying, "That's like even worse. I hate him because of that." Offended Kimball told Troconis, "He got you in trouble?" And she replied, "But I was cleaning the house. I wasn't cleaning Jennifer." During the third interview, Troconis provided some entirely new information. During interviews 1 and 2, Troconis repeatedly told investigators that she had been cleaning windows while at 80 Mountain Spring Road. But during the third interview, she began claiming that she had been cleaning the bathrooms. Troconis indicated that when Gumieni arrived at 80 Mountain Spring Road at approximately 5 p.m., she and Dulos had been standing up against the Toyota Tacoma's passenger side. Fotis and I were against the car, the Tacoma. Fotis was like behind me, like physical contact. Powell Gumieni arrives. I think Powell or Fotis said, "I didn't see anything," or "we weren't doing anything." I think something like a joke. When asked to explain the meeting, Troconis answered, like, "Yeah, we were making..." Troconis appeared to be saying that Gumieni's arrival interrupted Dulos and Troconis from engaging in sex alongside the passenger side of the Toyota. Yeah, they have that huge house. They have 2 other cars, but they're going to be engaging in that on the side of the Toyota Tacoma that belongs to their worker, right? Yeah, okay. That's believable, right? Troconis told investigators that she was inside 80 Mountain Spring Road when Dulos came inside looking for paper towels because he had spilled something in the Toyota Tacoma. So now she says she's inside. He comes in, "Honey, where are the paper towels? I've spilled something in the Toyota Tacoma." Supposedly, Fotis went back outside to clean out spilled coffee, air quotes, and then he returned to her and handed her the paper towel. Because he hands it to her, right? "Here, honey, I just cleaned this coffee off the vehicle. Here, can you take this? Because I can't finish up now and just put this in the garbage." She indicated the used paper towel had been brown in color, and she told the investigators that the soiled paper towel did not smell like coffee. In all 3 interviews, Michelle Troconis described how she repeatedly drove back and forth between 80 Mountain Spring Road and 4 Jefferson Crossing using both the Jeep and the Suburban. The timing she provided is not corroborated by the cellular data of Michelle and Dulos' cell phones. Dulos appears to remain at 80 Mountain Spring Road from approximately 1:36 until 4:07 p.m., which is about 2.5 hours. Okay, Albany Avenue, Hartford. Stating in her first interview, Troconis told investigators that between 6:30 p.m. and 7, Dulos had offered to go to a Starbucks in West Hartford. Honey, you want me to go to that Starbucks in West Hartford? Interview number 1, Troconis explained that she and Dulos rode towards the Starbucks in the Ford Raptor. Troconis reported that she was on her phone, was not aware of what was going on. Dulos drove past the Starbucks to what Troconis described as creepy area, which was a crowded place with fire and police vehicles. Troconis explained, he stopped and we stopped. He throws something from the back, a bag or I don't know what. I wasn't really paying attention. Troconis asked Dulos, why are we here? Like, it doesn't make sense. She went on to state, we've thrown garbage bags in other opportunities, but I've never been in that area. Troconis describes how Dulos threw at least one garbage bag into a dumpster. Interview number 1 again. Detectives showed Michelle Troconis screenshots that were taken from the surveillance video footage, which shows the large black-colored pickup truck and the male wearing the light-colored shirt, the dark pants, and the ball cap. Troconis identified the male as Dulos and the truck as the 2014 Ford Raptor pickup truck. Troconis also confirmed she was the female passenger pictured leaning out of the passenger side door of the Ford Raptor. Detectives asked Troconis what was on the back of the Raptor. She responded, I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was on the phone and probably talking to Patu, my friend Patu. Patu. Okay. Patu. Hold on a minute. Let me get rid of this thing here because I can't see. What's up with... Okay. So now, interview number 1. Troconis explains that following the Albany Avenue leg of the trip, she and Dulos went to Starbucks. There is video footage from the Starbucks that shows Dulos and Troconis entered the store on 5/24 in 2019, and they purchased food and drink at approximately 7:59 p.m. because getting rid of the evidence in a murder made them hungry and thirsty. Interview number 2, the Albany Avenue trip was not discussed during the second interview. In interview number 3, Michelle Troconis began changing elements of her story. She changed her explanation of the items she was instructed by Dulos to bring to 80 Mountain Spring Road and of her activities at that location. She lists the items that she brought to 80 Mountain Spring Road as, I brought a bucket, a sponge, garbage bags, and disposable gloves. She described the items, the bucket as white, the sponge as yellow and green, the garbage bags as black. Troconis also brought Windex, Clorox bleach, a vacuum, a broom, and paper towels. Investigators asked Troconis that what she was planning on cleaning, and she responded, the house, and I wasn't going to clean it all. Interview number 3, Michelle tells investigators that she arrives at 80 Mountain Spring Road driving the Jeep Cherokee as Dulos drove the 2015 Suburban. When they arrived, Gumieni's Toyota Tacoma was already present. Troconis claimed to have no knowledge of why or how the Toyota came to be on the property. She claimed she was inside 80 Mountain Spring Road cleaning bathrooms. Yeah, right. When she saw photos from the master bathroom window. Okay, hang on for 1 second. Sorry about that. Just hang on. I'll be right there. I have to get something. Sorry. Okay. Let me just get a drink here. Need more. Okay. So, let's go on. She was cleaning the bathrooms, right? Yeah, right. Okay. While she's cleaning the master bathroom, she sees photos. She claims that Dulos was setting up stakes to keep people from parking on the newly seeded grass. At some point, Photos goes down into the basement of 80 Mountain Spring Road. And then she returns to 4 Jefferson Crossing for a broom. Investigators asked Michelle, "Is there anything going on at 80 Mountain Spring Road that she doesn't want to be a part of? Is that why she left?" "No, not that I know. Not of my knowledge." Interview number 3. Troconis told investigators that she was inside the residence cleaning when Dulos comes inside looking for paper towels, claiming, "Hey, I spilled something." Troconis explains that Dulos went out to clean and returned to her and gave her the paper towel he used, which she then threw in the garbage. Troconis explained that Dulos had claimed he was cleaning up spilled coffee. When detectives asked where Dulos had spilled the coffee, she responded in one of the cars. "That's what he told me. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but the paper towel was dirty." When asked about the color of the soiled towel, Troconis reported it as brown. Investigators told Troconis it was difficult to believe that she didn't know what was going on, and Troconis responded by saying, "I didn't know what was going on, and up to now, I didn't see anything." Investigators asked where Dulos was cleaning the coffee stains, and she said, "I believe it was in the Tacoma." Okay, now we have the car wash. Russell Speeder's car wash. Okay, let's take a look at this. Russell Speeder's car wash. Hold on, let me get this. All right. So we've got this now. Come on, get over there. Russell Speeder's car wash. Probably in this strip mall somewhere. That's a Marshall's. Where's the car wash? 265. So isn't this funny? When he wanted to go to Starbucks, right? They had to go to Hartford from Farmington. And here they are in Avon. Is that the, if that's the, where's the car wash? Big Y. Is it down there? It looks like it's down there. That's Walmart. Where the freak is the car wash? Maybe it's... This is the address. They said 265. It's a tire place. There's a Goodwill. Huh. Unless it's right here. This might be the car wash right here. Probably is, right? How do we get over there? I think it is with the lanes or something, unless it's fast food. Car wash, there it is. There it is. Okay, so that's the car wash they went to. Lots of cameras around. All right. Sorry about taking so long with that. Russell Speeder's car wash. Investigation determined that on 5/29/2019 that Fotis and Michelle together shuttled Gumieni's Toyota Tacoma pickup to Russell Speeder's car wash, 265 West Main Street in Avon, Connecticut, in order to have the vehicle thoroughly cleaned and detailed. And Fotis Dulos paid $250 for this, okay, in cash to have these services performed. He did this without Gumieni even knowing. I guess he wanted to surprise his worker. He's probably doing a really good job. Maybe he made Employee of the Month that day, that month, and maybe he just wanted to surprise them, right? I bet that's all it was. Nothing nefarious or anything. So he pays $250. Residential surveillance from Jefferson Crossing shows a black Chevrolet Yukon followed by a red Toyota pickup truck that left Jefferson Crossing towards Eli Road at 8:56 a.m. During interview number 3, Troconis indicates that Fotis is driving the Tacoma and she's driving the Yukon as they drove to Russell Speeder's car wash. Russell Speeder's surveillance footage shows the Toyota pickup entering the parking lot area at approximately 9:05 a.m. Fotis can be seen entering the lobby where he speaks with a Russell Speeder's representative who records the following information on a detailed log sheet for the vehicle. The name field is left blank. The phone number recorded is Michelle Troconis' phone number. The vehicle field is filled out as a Toyota Sienna. Isn't that funny? Toyota Sienna. The time field is 8:44. The detail field is marked full. The price field is marked $250. According to Troconis, Dulos got into the Chevrolet Yukon and he traveled to the law offices of attorney Andrew Bowman, who currently represents Troconis. At approximately 1:39 p.m., Troconis' phone records records show an incoming call from a number which is listed as the business number of Russell Speeder's car wash at approximately 2:28 p.m. Troconis' phone records place her cell phone in the area of the People's United Bank, located at 310 West Main Street in Avon. At approximately 2:28, Russell Speeder's surveillance shows Dulos entering the lobby to pay for the detailing of the Toyota. Both Fotis and Troconis were arrested on September 4th, 2019 and September 5th, 2019, respectively. This was largely based on their roles outlined above to tamper with or fabricate physical evidence in violation of Section 53A 155A1 of the Connecticut General Statutes. 2001 Toyota Tacoma On June 6, 2019, detectives seized that 2001 Toyota Tacoma at the residence of Powell Gumiani. During the search warrant, Gumiani told detectives that the seats which were installed in the Toyota were different from the seats which had been in the truck on 5/24/2019. Gumiani signed a written consent to search form, and he provided the seats to the police voluntarily. Pursuant to a Joyce warrant, the seats were sent to the DESPP Forensic Laboratory for testing. The results indicated Jennifer Dulos' blood was found on the passenger seat of the vehicle. On the passenger seat. Isn't that interesting? Hi, Binky Heilman. How are you doing? You can't hear me? You're bowling? Okay, well, catch up with me later. I thought your ear was really bad. Did it get better? Okay. Oh, you can't hear out of your ear because, oh, I thought you was just loud and noisy in there. Oh, because of your ear? All right. Well, I'll talk really loud to you later. Okay, so this is funny because they're always talking about that cargo map in the back of Jennifer's car, right? But then there's the passenger seat that has Jennifer's blood. So, was the Chevy Suburban used? They believe they put her body on that map, or was it the stop? Like, it just always gets me, and I always feel like they were like dismembering her body in the basement. And how come they didn't get like more? I think they should have more. You know what I mean? They should know where her body is. Okay. So next up, we have a bicycle. Powell Gumiani told investigators that he was aware that Dulos owned an older model black or brown bicycle, which he had brought with him when he moved to the United States. And Dulos had told Gumiani the bike was made in France, and it was his childhood bicycle. Dulos had asked Gumiani to fix the bicycle during the fall of 2018 or the beginning of 2019. Gumiani remembered the bicycle had been routinely stored on a hook in the garage at 4 Jefferson Crossing. And remember, 4 Jefferson Crossing is the house that Fotis was living in, right? So remember that one. And the other one was the 80 Spring Street, right? Was it? Now let me go to 4 Jefferson Crossing just so. And that's this one. And this is where he tried to take his life in the garage with the car running, right? Let me pull this over. Not that. Where are you? This one? Yeah. So let's take a look. Go over here. This is the house he was living in with Michelle. This is where his office was. This is where they were running back and forth. And this is where he ended his life. Well, tried to end his life. his kitchens, do you realize that his kitchens are like cookie cutters of each other? He really didn't deviate. This is very similar to the other one. And it's very similar to the one that Jennifer was renting in New Canaan. And there's that mudroom again, right? And this is similar to the one in that other house, different than the one that Jennifer had. But it must be a big trend there with the cubbies there. And this is what I believe is the Ford Group office right here. And there was a little kitchen up there. Okay, so let's go back now. Here. So the bicycle was routinely stored at the garage at Fort Jefferson Crossing. During interview number 3, Michelle reported seeing the bicycle at 80 Mountain Spring Road. When detectives showed Troconis photographs of the interior of Fort Jefferson Crossing garage taken on 6/3/2019, she indicated that Dulos' bicycle was missing from the photo. Troconis pointed out an empty hook where Dulos' bike normally hung. Evidence recovered from the Albany Avenue trash receptacles contained a logo that was consistent with a vintage Mercier brand bicycle, a French-made bicycle consistent with Gumieni's description. Detectives located photographs taken in 2008 at a residence that was shared by Jennifer and Fotis Dulos, which showed a dark-colored vintage bicycle, which was consistent with a Mercier bicycle. On the day of Jennifer's disappearance, residential surveillance footage on Weed Street, New Canaan, showed an individual dressed in a hooded sweatshirt and dark clothing riding a bicycle that was consistent with Dulos' bike towards Jennifer's residence. The detectives conducted an extensive canvass for surveillance sources along various routes in Farmington-Avon area within the town of New Canaan and points in between, and these vehicles included a black 2015 Chevy Suburban, a white 2014 Jeep Cherokee Laredo, and that Ford Raptor 150, and the red 2001 Toyota pickup. Surveillance videos gleaned from the day prior 5/23/2019 and the date of the crime 5/24/2019. At 4:51 p.m., surveillance from a residence. This is the day before Jennifer's disappearance, okay? At 4:51 p.m., surveillance from a residence located just south of Jefferson Crossing. That was the house that Fotis lived in. Jefferson Crossing was. On Eli Road shows a vehicle consistent with the 2014 Ford Raptor traveling north on Eli Road towards Jefferson Crossing. 4:54, you see surveillance showing Paul Gumieni's Toyota Tacoma traveling south along Eli Road, followed by Fotis Dulos' Raptor. The footage shows these vehicles appearing to travel in tandem on Eli Road from Jefferson Crossing towards 80 Mountain Spring Road. 80 Mountain Spring Road is that empty house, the one that she was supposedly cleaning. Surveillance captures the driveway of 80 Mountain Spring Road, and where it shows the Toyota Tacoma and a Ford Raptor coming from the direction of Eli Road, pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road. Surveillance shows a Ford Raptor leaving the driveway of 80 Mountain Spring Road and turning onto Mountain Spring Road northbound to travel back towards the Dulos residence, right, towards the Jefferson Crossing one. At 5:04 p.m., the Eli Road surveillance shows a Ford Raptor traveling northbound towards the Dulos residence. At 5:10 p.m., data obtained via search warrant from the OnStar module of Dulos' 2014 Ford Raptor indicates that the vehicle was located at 4 Jefferson Crossing when the gear shift was placed into drive at 5:10 p.m. Surveillance on Eli Road shows a Chevy Suburban with a 4-group placard on its front passenger door traveling south on Eli Road away from Jefferson Crossing and towards Mountain Spring Road. Okay, so there's a lot of back and forth there between those two homes, right? 5:35 p.m., and this is the day before Jennifer Dulos was killed. 5:35 p.m., surveillance on Mountain Spring Road shows a black Chevy Suburban coming from the direction of Eli Road and pulling into the driveway at 80 Mountain Spring Road. 5:41 p.m., surveillance on Mountain Spring Road shows a black Chevy Suburban exiting the driveway of 80 Mountain Spring Road. On 5:24, now this is the day of Jennifer's murder. 5:35 a.m. at 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington, a red Toyota Tacoma pickup truck drives off the property of 80 Mountain Spring Road and it turns left onto Mountain Spring Road southbound. 7:03 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me finish this one. Okay. We missed something here. At 6:36 a.m. at Route 15 SB Fairfield, a red Toyota Tacoma consistent with Gumiani's truck was found traveling southbound on the Merritt Parkway, Route 15, passing the Fairfield rest area at 6:36 a.m. At 7:03 a.m. on Route 15 SB, New Canaan, detectives locate a red Toyota Tacoma consistent with Gumiani's truck traveling southbound on the Merritt Parkway and passing the New Canaan rest area at 7:03 a.m. At 7:05 a.m., Lapham Road, New Canaan. Video from the New Canaan school buses showed an empty turnout on Lapham Road, southbound, just north of the Merritt Parkway overpass at 7:05 a.m. At 7:31 a.m., Weed Street, New Canaan. Video from a residential surveillance system shows a person riding a bicycle in a northwest direction along Weed Street. The cyclist appears to be dressed in all dark clothing with a hood pulled down low to hide their face. The bicycle was being ridden by was a dark-colored touring bike with the curled ram horn handlebars common on vintage 10-speed bicycles. The bicycle appeared to have metallic reflective rims. Witness statements including from Powell Gumiani and photographic evidence established that Dulos owned a vintage bicycle matching this description. The location of this surveillance falls in line with a 20-minute bike route from the Waveney Park section of Lapham Road, this location at which Toyota was staged, the location to which the Toyota was staged, to 69 Wellis Lane. The direction of the rider is towards Wellis Lane and away from Waveney Park. 7:40 a.m., Lapham Road, New Canaan. A New Canaan school bus traveling southbound on Lapham Road at 7:40 shows the same turnout occupied by a red Toyota truck consistent with Gumiani's pickup. The turnoff is within approximately 100 feet of the turnoff that Jennifer's 2017 Chevrolet Suburban would later be found abandoned. The bed of the truck appeared empty. Lapham Road, New Canaan at 7:57. A school bus traveling northbound on Lapham Road showed the Toyota still parked in the same dirt turnout on Lapham Road. 8:05 a.m. Victim arrives home. At 8:05 a.m., Jennifer's 2017 Chevrolet Suburban is shown on residential security camera driving eastbound along Wallace Lane and towards her residence after Jennifer dropped off her children at school. From 8:05 to 10:25 a.m., the murder and cleanup took place. At some point between Jennifer's arrival home, 10:25, and 10:25 a.m., the crimes occur in the garage and the residence. Fotis packages Jennifer using plastic zip ties and places her inside her own 2017 Chevrolet Suburban. Okay, so she is in the back there on that mat. So Dulos cleans the garage using supplies he finds in the garage and paper towels from the kitchen. He leaves the scene at 10:25. At 10:25, residential surveillance on Wallace Lane shows Jennifer's 2017 Chevy Suburban traveling westbound, away from 69 Wallace Lane. Cellular data obtained from Jennifer's cell phone is consistent with the phone moving from Wallace Lane to Lapham Road during this time frame. 11:12 a.m. The Toyota Tacoma is shown traveling northbound on the Merritt Parkway, passing the New Canaan rest area at 11:12. An object is now visible in the rear bed of the truck, which appears to be the rim of a bicycle. Okay, so 10:25. Why don't they have any more surveillance of that Chevy Suburban? That's what I'm always wondering. Right? And they may have some more. They don't have to put everything in this arrest warrant. Okay? They don't. But they've not found her body, so that makes me think they were not able somehow to track that Suburban everywhere that it went, right? But at 10:25, whatever he did, at 11:12, he's in that Toyota Tacoma. And they see the rim of a bicycle. The Toyota Tacoma is shown traveling northbound on the Merritt Parkway, passing the New Canaan rest area, and they see that rim of the bicycle. At 11:25, that's at 11:12. So half an hour, 35, 45 minutes or so. 11:25 a.m. the Toyota is seen traveling northbound on the Merritt Parkway, passing the Fairfield rest area. 11:40, the Toyota is shown traveling on Route 8, passing the Valley Transit District. 12, it's in Waterbury. The Toyota Tacoma is shown traveling eastbound along I-84 in Waterbury near exit 25A at 12. Now remember that babysitter was arriving at the house at some time at 11, right? So that's interesting. So now at 12:22, 80 Mountain Spring Road, residential surveillance shows the Toyota Tacoma pulling into the driveway at 80 Mountain Spring Road at 12:22. At 1:36 p.m., surveillance shows a white Jeep followed by a black Chevy Suburban with a rack pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road. According to Michelle, she was driving the Jeep and he was driving the Chevy Suburban. At 2:01 on 80 Mountain Spring Road, residential surveillance shows a white Jeep pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road from the direction of Jefferson Crossing, and this follows a call from Dulos to Troconis at 1:53 p.m. At a time, his handset is in the area of 80 Mountain Spring Road. The footage is consistent with Troconis' arrival at 80 Mountain Spring Road after receiving a call from Dulos. Surveillance shows the white Jeep pulling out of 80 Mountain Spring Road and turning right onto Mountain Spring Road towards Jefferson Crossing. At 3:55, 80 Mountain Spring Road. Surveillance shows the Jeep returns, right? So she's at 4:03, the black Chevy Suburban with the rack is leaving. At 4:23, 20 minutes after Troconis drove away in the Suburban, the surveillance footage shows the Suburban returning to 80 Mountain Spring, and both Troconis and Dulos' cell phones appear to remain at Jefferson Crossing. At 4:58 p.m., 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington, residential surveillance shows the Ford Raptor being operated by Gumieni arriving at 80 Mountain Spring Road. According to his statement, Gumieni had already gone to Ford Jefferson Crossing, having arrived at approximately 4:30 p.m. Gumieni found no one at home at the residence and was unable to raise Dulos by phone. To reach, I think they mean that, not raise. Gumieni walked to the kitchen expecting to find the key to his Toyota Tacoma where it normally is, but he was unable to find it. Gumieni then drove first to Deercliff Road and then on to 80 Mountain Spring Road, where he encountered Dulos and Troconis in the driveway. Residential surveillance shows the Ford Raptor leaving the property as Gumieni drives the truck back to Jefferson Crossing. Within approximately 30 seconds, the Jeep is shown backing out of the driveway and stopping at Mountain Spring Road just south of the driveway. The black Chevy Suburban then pulls into the end of the driveway and sits for within possible earshot of the Jeep 10 to 15 seconds for no apparent reason, no traffic passing, before pulling out to travel north on Mountain Spring Road towards Jefferson Crossing. Troconis follows the Suburban northbound in the Jeep. At 5:14 p.m. on 80 Mountain Spring Road, surveillance shows the Ford Raptor pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road from the direction of Jefferson Crossing. And this is Dulos driving the Ford Raptor, with Gumieni as the passenger. As Gumieni tries to pick up his Toyota Tacoma, according to Gumieni's statement, when he arrived back at his truck, he noticed the key, which had been seen in the passenger door lock, had been removed. The absence of the only key to the vehicle prevented him from driving his vehicle. Dulos offered to let Gumieni take the Ford Raptor for the weekend, but Gumieni said he wanted to transport his dirt bike from Dulos' residence to his own house in Simsbury, and Gumieni wanted to use the Toyota to accomplish this. Dulos' cell phone data shows a call to Troconis telling her to return with the keys. At 5:24 p.m. at 80 Mountain Spring Road, residential surveillance shows the black Chevy Suburban entering the driveway as Troconis brings the Toyota keys back to Gumieni. 5:27 p.m., 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington. Surveillance shows the black Chevy Suburban driven by Troconis leaving 80 Mountain Spring Road towards Jefferson Crossing. The red Toyota Tacoma driven by Gumieni pulls out onto Mountain Spring Road northbound seconds later. 5:28 p.m., 80 Mountain Spring Road, Farmington. Residential surveillance shows the Ford Raptor pulling out onto Mountain Spring Road northbound as Dulos leaves. Kent Mawhinney is a close friend of Dulos and a practicing attorney who lives in South Windsor. His law practice is based in Bloomfield, Connecticut. Mawhinney's name appeared on the Alibi scripts written by Dulos and Troconis, and he was identified by Troconis during all three of her interviews as a person present in the four-group office on the morning of 5/24/2019 for a meeting with Dulos. Mawhinney was interviewed on June 9th, 2019, and then again on June 25th, 2019, by detectives to obtain his personal knowledge of the events which transpired in the four-group office located above the garage of Dulos' residence, and specifically any contact he might have with Dulos, Troconis, or any of the other persons on the day of Jennifer's disappearance. Mawhinney's statements included: Mawhinney stated he met Michelle for the first time within the last 30 days of this month at 4 Jefferson Crossing, Farmington. Mawhinney was aware that Fotis had been dating Michelle prior to him meeting her for the first time. Mawhinney stated there was no scheduled meeting with Dulos on the morning of 5/24/2019, and he acknowledged he did not see Dulos that morning. In his second interview, Mawhinney changed his account of 5/24/2019 to reflect that there was a prearranged meeting. Mawhinney indicated he arrived at 4 Jefferson. Mawhinney continued to maintain that he didn't see Dulos that morning. He indicated that he arrived at 4 Jefferson Crossing at approximately 7:40, where he remained for approximately 40 to 50 minutes before leaving. When asked if he had contact with Fotis on 5/23/2019, the day before Jennifer's disappearance, Mawhinney claimed he couldn't remember. Dulos' phone records showed an outgoing call to Mawhinney on 5/23/2018 at 5:33 p.m. Mawhinney denied any phone contact with Dulos on 5/24. Dulos' phone records documented an outgoing call to Mawhinney on 5/24/2019 at 7:47 p.m. During a second interview with police, Mawhinney reported that he had received a concussion resulting from a fall down a set of stairs. Isn't that convenient? On 5/25/2019, the day after Jennifer's disappearance, Mawhinney reported he had to replace his cell phone after the fall damaged the phone screen. Isn't that convenient? Mawhinney reported he still had no memory of seeing Dulos or Troconis on 5/24. Mawhinney reported he couldn't remember any incoming phone call on 5/24/2019 at 8:26 a.m. Isn't that special? When pressed on whether he answered any calls that morning, Mawhinney responded, "Why would I direct someone to answer a phone?" Detectives had to explain to Mawhinney that he wasn't answering the question being asked several times. In the third interview, Troconis did assert that Mawhinney had directed her to answer an incoming call to Dulos' cell phone, which was lying on the desk at the 4 Group office. In his first interview, Mawhinney had denied any contact whatsoever with Dulos on 5/24/2019. In his second interview, prior to any questions by detectives on the topic, Mawhinney stated, "I don't remember having contact with him. If there's a phone call, I guess I did, but I don't remember having contact with Fotis." Mawhinney was asked if he would know why Dulos would have contacted him while dumping evidence into trash receptacles in Hartford, Connecticut, and Mawhinney reiterated that he didn't remember any kind of contact with Dulos and did not know why Fotis would be calling him while he was disposing of evidence. Powell Gumiani. At the time of Jennifer's disappearance, Powell Gumiani was the project manager with 4 Group, having been a full-time employee of Fotis Dulos' company since 2016. Gumiani worked with Dulos daily and considered himself to be a friend of Dulos. Gumiani routinely operated the 2001 Toyota Tacoma, registered to his wife, Barbara Gumiani. Barbara had her own vehicle and did not drive the Toyota to work. According to Gumiani, the vehicle had some mechanical issues, but was reliable enough to drive to approximately 9-mile trip to Dulos' residence in Farmington. Gumiani would regularly leave the Toyota parked at 4 Jefferson Crossing during the week where he worked, and Dulos would provide him with a 4 Group vehicle to drive, usually the Ford Raptor or the Jeep Cherokee. During the week when the Toyota was parked at 4 Jefferson Crossing, Gumiani would leave the sole vehicle. The sole vehicle key at Dulos' residence. Gumiani provided multiple voluntary interviews with investigators. The third 8-hour interview took place on 7/12/2019 at the Troop G Barracks, during which Gumieni was accompanied by a defense attorney, Linda Urso, and following his first interview with the permission of Attorney Urso, Gumieni provided information to conversations, including the following. Gumieni explained Dulos told him he would get in trouble if he talked to police because Gumieni only had a green card, a permanent resident card. Dulos contacted an attorney on behalf of Gumieni, who in turn referred Gumieni to Attorney Urso. Gumieni routinely drives a 4-group vehicle during his work week. He would leave the Toyota Tacoma at the 4-group office for Jefferson Crossing and would leave the key in either the 4-group office or the kitchen. On either 5/17 or 5/20, Dulos was asked Gumieni if he could move Gumieni's truck to 80 Mountain Spring Road because the truck was leaking oil. So he's okay with the oil being in the other driveway? Okay. On 5/23/2019, Dulos told Gumieni to forego stopping at the 4-group office on the following morning because Dulos was having a meeting with his divorce lawyer. During the Dulos told Gumieni he was to drive her straight to New Canaan on 5/24/2019. Gumieni stated he routinely does not stop at the office unless he needs to pick something up. On the morning of 5/24/2019, Gumieni was operating the 2014 Ford Raptor registered to the 4-group and loaned to him the previous day by Dulos. Okay. The Raptor OnStar module downloaded showed the vehicle being shifted into drive at 7:55 a.m. or at or near Gumieni's residence in Simsbury. Okay. Yeah, 10 more pages. Gumieni and Dulos' cell records show a text conversation between the men, which occurred on 5/24/2019 at 2:13 p.m., in which Dulos asked Gumieni when he was returning to the office, and Gumieni reported he would be at 4 Jefferson Crossing at approximately 4:30 p.m. Gumieni reported when he arrived at the 4-group office, he found no one was there. Gumieni tried calling and texting. Dulos reportedly was not able to reach him. He searched for the key to the Toyota, but he could not find it. Gumieni drove to 585 Deercliff Road to retrieve a board that he used as a ramp for his dirt bike. Gumieni then drove 80 miles to Spring Road to see if Dulos was there. When he arrived, he saw both Troconis and Dulos in the driveway. He reported they both looked surprised to see him. Surprise! Gumieni asked Dulos what they were doing, and he reported they were cleaning. Dulos reported Troconis was cleaning windows while Fotis was cleaning up some stuff inside. Gumieni reported he noticed Dulos and Troconis were not holding any cleaning products and there were no products near the vehicles. A short time later, all three left the property, each driving a separate vehicle. Gumieni was driving the Ford Raptor. Dulos was driving the Chevy Suburban. Troconis was driving the Jeep. Gumieni's Toyota Tacoma remained in the driveway. He noticed the car key was sticking out of the passenger door lock. Gumieni drove first to 585 Deercliff Road, then to 4 Jefferson Crossing to pick up Dulos before returning to 80 Mountain Spring Road to pick up his Toyota truck. When they arrived, Gumieni realized the sole key to his Toyota, which minutes before had been seen by him protruding from the passenger door lock, was now gone. Dulos asked Gumieni if he wanted to take the Ford Raptor home, but Gumieni told Dulos he wanted to put his dirt bike in the bed of his Toyota and take it home. Dulos called Troconis and told her to bring back the key, and Troconis arrived a few minutes later with the key. On Sunday, the 26th of May, 2019, Dulos spoke with Gumieni and told him Jennifer was missing. He went to ask Gumieni when he would be returning to work. As the next day was Memorial Day, Dulos said, Gumieni told Dulos he would be back to work on Tuesday. When Gumieni arrived at work on the 28th of May, he walked into the Dulos kitchen and handed him the key to his Toyota, and he would be using a 4-group vehicle for the work week. Dulos asked Gumieni where he was on Friday, which Gumieni found to be a really strange question because he knew where Gumieni was. He was working at the 61 Sturbridge Hill Road job site in New Canaan, as Dulos had told him to do. Dulos told Gumieni that police had seized his phone and that he was asked to see Gumieni's phone because he wanted to check to see if Gumieni had called him during any of the early portion on Friday. As they looked through Gumieni's phone, because he wanted to check and see if Gumieni had called him during the early portion of Friday. As he looked through Gumieni's phone, Dulos asked Gumieni how he had gotten back to the 4-group office on Friday. As Gumieni reviewed that Friday afternoon, he mentioned the aspect of how Dulos had called Troconis to return the Toyota key to 80 Mountain Spring Road. Dulos told Gumieni there was no reason to bring Michelle into this and to leave out that part. Gumieni took that to mean Dulos was telling him to not tell the police about Troconis having possession of the Toyota key. Following this conversation, Gumieni went back to his truck to get a toolbox and saw a red pail with a blue hoodie inside of it. Gumieni did not recognize the pail or the sweatshirt. Assuming those items belonged to Dulos, Gumieni brought the items into the house and left them in the laundry room. Gumieni then drove the 4-group vehicle to 61 Sturbridge Hill Road in New Canaan to work for the day. On Wednesday, 5/29/2019, Gumieni discovered his Toyota was not parked where he left it at 4 Jefferson Crossing. And when he called Dulos to inquire where his truck was, Dulos told him he was coming back with a vehicle from the car wash. When he arrived at Jefferson Crossing with the truck, Dulos began telling Gumieni he should replace the seats or sell the entire truck. Dulos offered the 4-group Jeep, but Gumieni declined. When Gumieni got the Toyota, he realized the vehicle had not just been washed, but it was detailed as well. At some point during the week, Dulos called Gumieni to tell him the media was outside his house. He told Gumieni to come get the Toyota and to park it inside the garage and to take the truck home. On 5/30/2019, Dulos told Gumieni he should go to the junkyard to buy a replacement seat for the Toyota and pay cash for them. Dulos told him he would reimburse him for whatever the cost was to Gumieni in cash. He also told Gumieni that during future phone calls, he would avoid using the word seats and should then refer to the seats as hardware. On 5/31/2019, at Dulos' urging, Gumieni went to a junkyard. He spent 2 hours looking for seats to replace those in his Toyota. 2 hours. After his search was unsuccessful, Gumieni received a phone call from Dulos, who was inquiring on his progress. Okay, let's see. His progress. He was inquiring on his progress. I'm getting flashbacks of whatchamacallit, Seaver. I'm reading the Seaver diaries. I am. So I have to take a little break here because I almost fell asleep. Okay, let's wait. Oh boy. Dulos told Gumieni not to worry about it, that nothing happened, and repeated he should not worry about it. I don't know where we... On 5/31/2019, at Dulos' urging, Gumieni went to a junkyard, spent 2 hours looking for seats. After his search was unsuccessful, Gumieni received a phone call from Dulos, who was inquiring on his project on the hardware. Here he goes with the code words, right? Hardware. How are you doing with the hardware? Gumieni responded that he was working on it. When Gumieni returned to the office, Dulos appeared angry that he had failed to find replacement seats. So yeah, okay. And he described Dulos as being firm in his viewpoint that the seats needed to be replaced. Okay. When Gumieni asked Dulos why he wanted him to change the seats, Dulos told Gumieni not to worry about it, that nothing happened, and repeated he should not worry about it. Gumieni pressed Dulos on why he had cleaned the Tacoma and why he was insisting on the seats being changed. Dulos then told Gumieni the reason lay in the fact that when he went to Jennifer's house on Mother's Day, he had given Jennifer a hug, adding that he had also held Jennifer's cat during the visit. Dulos claimed he was worried that one of Jennifer's hairs could be found in the Tacoma, and Dulos told Gumieni to change the seats and try to get rid of the old ones so that no one would ever find them. The only alternative Gumieni could think of was to use the seats from Dulos' wrecked Porsche, which he removed on 5/31/2019. And after he removed the Tacoma seats and substituting the Porsche seats, he remained suspicious about Dulos, and he claimed reasons for having the seats removed instead of just getting rid of the seats. Gumieni kept the seats in the garage of the residence in case the police ever wanted to take them. On June 6, 2019, WDMCS personnel were executing a search and seizure warrant at Gumieni's residence involving the seizure of the Toyota Tacoma. Without prompting, Gumieni advised Sergeant Al Bisson that the seats had been changed subsequent to Jennifer's 5/24/2019 disappearance. Gumieni offered the seats installed in the Tacoma at the time of the crime to Sergeant Bisson, who seized them using a written consent to search form signed by Gumieni. During the July 12th interview with Gumieni, Gumieni was shown a surveillance photo of what appeared to be the Toyota Tacoma, which he identified without hesitation as his truck. Gumieni displayed what appeared to be genuine surprise upon learning that his Toyota was caught on surveillance in New Canaan. In identifying his own vehicle, Gumieni pointed out specific aspects on the vehicle, including a unique plow mount, which he had handmade. Gumieni voluntarily provided his cell phone, for which a search and seizure warrant was sought and granted. A forensic examination of the phone showed certain items had been deleted. When asked about the deletions, Gumieni vehemently denied deleting any material from the phone. In reviewing the deleted material, it is noted that on 5/28/2019, Dulos had physical possession of Gumieni's unlocked cell phone in order to check his call history. The deleted items included his web history, entire web history from the beginning of the phone history to 28/2017, deleted until 5/21/2019, searched items, searches from April to May, deleted, searches prior to April 2nd, sporadically deleted. Searches on 5/30/2019, moving forward, not deleted. Call log 5/25/2019 from 5/26 to 5/26/2019 was deleted. The next entry 7/53, not deleted. Lauren Almeida. Detectives interviewed Lauren Almeida, the longtime child care employee hired by Jennifer in May of 2013 as a full-time nanny with the 5 Dulos children, working closely until the day of her disappearance. Okay, now we got Lauren Almeida. Okay, hold on for a minute because I've got to get another, let me see, I've got to get more ice. Hang on. I've got to get another drink. This is a good time to talk amongst yourselves. Right there, I'm just giving Rocky a strawberry, or hydrated strawberry. Hey, Rock. Like that? He loves dehydrated strawberries, freeze-dried strawberries. Okay. Uh-oh, where's my... I bought another one here. Did I go through 2? Get out of here. No, here's another one. Okay, ready for more? Okay, we could get some more likes. That would be great. And any of you here that are not members, if you want to sign up to be a member of our channel, we have different tiers. They're very affordable and they really help to support the channel. So that would be greatly appreciated if you'd like to sign up to do that. Share the video out, like it, tell your friends and family. Share it on your social media, okay? Hi, Painted Black. What are you laughing at? All right, ready? Lauren Almeida. I really have a flying squirrel, Painted Black. I swear I do. Go, there's videos of my painted squirrel, of my flying squirrel, and I have a painted turtle. I know it sounds funny, but didn't you just hear him in his wheel? You think I'm kidding you. That's funny. Okay, I'll have to show them to you in a Zoom. All right, anyway. And last night, if you were part of our members and you came to our Zoom, we watched the ending of that really feel-good movie, Without a Trace, with Judd Hirsch. And then we watched all these 70s vintage commercials together. It was crazy. But we have movie nights. We do a lot of stuff. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with this. And thank you to we did get another new member a few hours ago. Well, it was nice. Okay. Lauren Alameda, she is the babysitter, like we said, child care employee. On May 21st, 2019, Miss Almeida worked at Jennifer's home in New Canaan. She cleaned up the third garage bay and she stacked the kids' equipment on shelves. On Wednesday, May 22nd, Ms. Almeida was at 69 Wallace Lane. She was preparing for a supervised visit, which was scheduled to start at 4:30 p.m. 30 minutes prior to Fotis' scheduled arrival, Jennifer ran down the stairs saying that Dulos had already arrived. By the time Jennifer contacted Dulos, he had driven all the way up the driveway and he was near the garage bays. He claimed he was confused about the time of the visit, despite the routine time of 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. being established and confirmed by Dulos well in advance. Dulos was also aware he was not to enter the property at 69 Wallace Lane prior to the arrival of Dennis Puebla, the third-party observer, or Puebla's designee. The plan for 5/22/2019 visitation was Dulos to take the children to Grace Farms in New Canaan for a picnic. Dulos suddenly realized that Grace Farms closed at 6 p.m. that day and gained Jennifer's permission to return to 69 Wallace Lane to picnic with the children outside the house in the rear yard. Jennifer's agreement was partially attributable to the fact that Sidney Streeter, a third-party observer and the designee of Puebla, would be at the home monitoring Dulos at all times. Hi, Brenda. Okay. Jennifer and Ms. Alameda took steps to ensure Dulos did not enter the residence, as Jennifer was strictly opposed to Dulos ever entering the home. They placed the food out on the rear patio table and they locked the rear mudroom door to prevent Dulos from entering the kitchen. On 5/23/2019, Jennifer discussed the possibility of Miss Alameda staying overnight at 69 Wells Lane, as Jennifer had an early doctor's appointment in the city the next morning. Jennifer ultimately decided she would stay in New Canaan and bring the children to school per usual, then leave for the appointment. She told Miss Almeida it would not be necessary for her to stay at Wallace Lane that night. Jennifer also told Ms. Alameda she was planning on taking the Range Rover in the city because it was smaller and easier to park than the Chevy Suburban. On 5/24/2019, Ms. Almeida arrived at 69 Wallace Lane at 11:30 a.m. As usual, she opened the center bay garage door via the keypad and immediately noticed that the Range Rover was still parked in the garage while the Suburban was gone. Upon entering the kitchen, she noticed Jennifer's handbag was on the floor in the doorway between the mudroom and the kitchen. And she found Jennifer's unopened granola bar and a mug of tea on the kitchen counter. As she washed Jennifer's mug, Ms. Almeida noticed the paper towel roll near the sink needed replacement. She went to the pantry for a new roll and found only 2 fresh rolls were left. Ms. Almeida found this incredibly strange because just the night before, she had placed a brand new pack of 12 rolls in the pantry. Ms. Almeida wrote, "I sat there and wondered what had happened there last night that they used 10 rolls of paper towels." After picking up the 4 kids, as the 5th went directly to a friend's home, Miss Almeida returned to Wallace Lane and fed the children lunch in the kitchen. At 12:43 p.m., Miss Almeida sent a text to Jennifer, which went unanswered. As she and the children prepared to leave the house, Miss Almeida noticed the rear mudroom door which led outside, was unlocked. This door was routinely locked unless the children were playing in the backyard. After locking this door, Ms. Almeida sent another text message to Jennifer at 1:10 p.m. that she would be arriving in New York City with the children at 2:30 p.m. And this message also went unanswered. Upon arrival at the apartment of Jennifer's mother, Gloria Farber, Ms. Almeida sent another text to Jennifer announcing their arrival, which gleaned no response. At 4 p.m., a call to Jennifer's cell phone went straight to voicemail. Ms. Almeida wrote, "Immediately my stomach sank, and I had a feeling that something was wrong. In almost 7 years that I have worked for Jennifer, I never, ever had a hard time reaching her, and never had an issue with her phone being off. After discovering Jennifer never showed for the children's orthodontist appointment at 4:40 p.m., Ms. Almeida's reaction, my first thought was that Fotis did something. After pondering other possible scenarios, Ms. Almeida arrived back at that feeling that something happened and most likely Fotis was involved. After discovering, hold on a minute. At this point, Ms. Almeida contacted Gloria Farber and checked with other close friends and relatives of Jennifer, none of whom had heard from her. After returning to Gloria Farber's apartment, Ms. Almeida and Jennifer's close friend, Laurel Watts, contacted the New Canaan Police Department to report Jennifer as missing. They told the NCPD that a mother of 5 children was missing and that she was going through a divorce with a man who has threatened her in the past and owns a gun. After confirming with NCPD that they had spoken with Dulos and it was all right to accept his incoming calls, Ms. Almeida called Dulos at 8:41 p.m. Okay. Ms. Almeida explained that during the call, Fotis never asked me how Jennifer was doing the day previously or when I had last heard from her, or showed any concern about the fact that Jennifer was missing. Fotis did ask how the kids were doing, and he asked if I had all the kids at Gloria's apartment. He went on to remind Ms. Almeida that he had a visitation with the kids at 11 a.m. on Saturday, and that I must bring them to the visit. He told me that I needed to make sure I woke up early enough to leave New York City so that I'm not late. After agreeing to Fotis' request, Fotis told her that the kids really needed him right now, that this visitation still needed to happen. On May 25, 2019, Dulos' first text to Ms. Almeida arrived at 5:39 a.m. "Good morning. Lauren, any news?" Ms. Almeida replied there was no news. Throughout the day, Dulos called Ms. Almeida and texted her asking about the children, asking if there was any news, and attempts to verify that Ms. Almeida was bringing the children for the visitation. On May 26, 2019, Dulos continued to text Ms. Almeida about the status of the children and whether they were all together in New York. At noon, Dulos showed up unannounced at Gloria Farber's Manhattan apartment and demanded entry. The doorman had already been instructed to prevent Dulos from entering the building due to ongoing family court issues and the fact that Dulos was unwelcome at Gloria Farber's residence. New York City police responded to the scene and were told by Dulos that his children had been abducted and that he was demanding to see them. New York PD officers spoke with New Canaan police and confirmed that Dulos was prohibited by a court order from visiting with his children unsupervised. Dulos was to leave the property, and he ultimately complied. Jennifer's friend, Carrie Luft, filed a domestic violence report regarding the incident with NYPD. On May 27th, Dulos texted Ms. Almeida to check on the children. Following her reply that the children were fine, Dulos replied, "Thank you for your response. Please send me updates every 3 hours. I do not want to feel that I am pestering you, but please understand that I am the father and I am extremely concerned with the situation." Dulos did not ask anything about Jennifer, and Ms. Almeida provided him with no response. During this investigation, Ms. Almeida was shown photographs of the South Garage Bay that were taken during WDMCS's crime van processing. As she was familiar with the arrangement of items, having set many things in their place herself, Ms. Almeida was asked if she noted any changes. She reported that 2 white camping pillows were missing from the shelves. The camping pillows were never touched, and they were only used twice by the kids during a school trip. She had noticed the pillows within the past 2 months while searching for an old towel to use for an activity with the children. In another photograph, Ms. Almeida noticed a cleaning supply bucket that was missing from the shelving. The bucket had been either red or white, and it contained cleaning supplies used by the housekeeper. Ms. Almeida had placed the bucket on the shelf on 5/21 as she cleaned the garage for Jennifer. Dana Hinman. Detectives conducted interviews with the Dulos' known associates and friends, including Dana Hillman, a longtime friend of Dulos who was present at a barbecue at the water ski pond in Avon, Connecticut on 5/31/2019. When Dulos and Troconis arrived at the pond, the property owner, Hutch Haynes, was also a friend of Dulos, mentioned that it might not be appropriate for Dulos and Troconis to be at the barbecue, considering Jennifer had just been reported missing. Haynes suggested that Dulos and Troconis return to their house. However, Dulos remained at the pond. Hinman raised the question to Dulos, "Where is Jennifer?" Dulos' response was to talk about $15,000 in medical bills, which Jennifer had accrued. At one point, Hinman remarked that Dulos about breaking news, which was coming over his cell phone, that detectives were in Hartford finding trash bags that were possibly related to the case in the city garbage receptacles along Albany Avenue. Hinman wrote, "Fotis watched the news story, and eventually he looked up at Michelle and sort of locked eyes with her for a second. Dulos then walked away from the group and began making calls on his cell phone. Hinman's assumption was that Dulos was talking to his attorney. Sidney Streeter was a third-party observer who works with Dennis Puebla to monitor Dulos during the supervised visits with his children. Ms. Streeter was the observer present on 5/22/2019 at 69 Wells Lane when Dulos brought his children home from Grace Farms and picnicked with them in the rear yard of Jennifer's house. Ms. Streeter told police that Dulos never entered Jennifer's home residence during the visit. Dulos' financials. Here we go. Information was provided pursuant to a court order sharing agreement with our law enforcement partners pertaining to the apparent financial standing of Fotis Dulos. It is noteworthy that Dulos is currently involved in an ongoing civil suit brought against him by Gloria Barber, the mother of Jennifer Barber Dulos, in which $2.5 million is in dispute. The suit was started in 2018, and Dulos was aware of the potential financial exposure at the time of Jennifer's disappearance. Dulos' lending portfolio currently consists of several loan accounts. Multiple lines of credit have a current balance due of 5/31/2019 approximately $4,499,847.85. That's not much if you say it fast. There are numerous mortgages held against his construction properties. Of note is a savings bank of Danbury line of credit opened by Dulos under the name of his company, Four Group. In March of 2018, the line of credit had a maximum draw of approximately $2.7 million, which was extended on May 2019 with a balance due of approximately $2.6 million. It appears beginning approximately 4/1/2018 through 5/31/2019 that Dulos began funding the Four Group business checking account held at People's United Bank with advancements from the DSB line of credit totaling approximately $1.6 million. Also during this week, the Four Group business account was funded through another line of credit advances to include people like us. Excuse me. Oh my God. Additional line of credit advances to include People's United Bank loan totaling approximately $530,000. People like us. I was thinking of a movie. There's a movie of People Like Us, isn't there? Gotta have a little fun. In April of 2019, at a time when DSB advance was nearing its maximum limit, Dulos received a wire in $145,500 from Snap Advance Cash Advance, a merchant cash advance company based in Utah. Also, during the above referenced time period, Dulos received 3 insurance checks from Chubb Insurance totaling $193,610.64, all checks payable to Fotis and Jennifer. Bank records indicated that all 3 checks were deposited into a joint checking held at People's United Bank and that Jennifer did not sign the back of any of the 3 checks. Following each deposit, the funds were immediately withdrawn by means of either a withdrawal slip or a check made payable to Fotis Dulos. All the above funds were transferred to Dulos' personal accounts, some of which were transferred to the Four Group business account. No indication we found that any portion of the above proceeds designated by Chubb Insurance Company to Jennifer and Fotis were transferred to Jennifer. The above advancements made up approximately 71% of the overall deposits going into the Four Group Inc. account for the period of 4/1 to 5/31/2019, approximately $3.5 million. The Four Group business checking account held at People's United Bank had a beginning balance of $277,000, to which an additional $3.5 million was deposited, allowing approximately $3.7 million in withdrawals. Out of the $3.7 million in withdrawals, $1.8 million consisted of checks to payable to Fotis Dulos. It appears as the above referenced period progressed, Dulos' debt increased significantly. At the same time, ability to support his business through line advances diminished, causing him to seek out other funding. His other means of funding his business, such as Snap Advance Wire, in April of 2019. Also, in March, April, and May of 2019, Dulos was not making the interest payments or the loan with People's United Bank, and the bank was advancing the remaining minor balance to make payments due. Refer to the chart on the following page for visual representation of the above information. On May 31st, Dulos' debt exposure totaled $7 million, consisting of $4.3 million in balances due on lines of credit, in addition to possible $2.5 million due in a civil lawsuit. It appears that Deborah was falling, making even jelly beans. You're not good for you, right? Where were we? Jelly beans. Wait. I feel like I'm hallucinating. Did I just say jelly beans? I think I did. I don't know why I'm thinking about jelly beans. I don't have jelly beans. Not even eating jelly beans. Where did we get jelly beans? What the heck is going on? Where did we get jelly beans? Dylan Flynn. Dylan Flynn. Did I just see Dylan Flynn? Somebody's saying Kevin Leonard's giving a rose to Dylan Flynn. Dylan Flynn, how the heck are you? Are you still flying in? You're in stealth mode. How's it going? What the freak, Kevin Leonard? What the freak's going on? I don't know. No idea. Yes, it's Dylan Flynn. Look, hi, Dylan Flynn. Did I say jelly beans? I swear to you, I am. See, I would be dangerous if I took drugs. Okay, I did say jelly beans. I have no idea why. No idea. Okay. Jelly beans. I don't even know. The only thing I could think of, Jack, then the beanstalk with the magic beans, and then beans being used for money, right? Like, kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what the heck. Jelly beans. Nightbot is being funny? Really? What is Nightbot doing? Is it 333, Kevin? No, it's 332 here. Something's wrong? What's wrong, Dylan? What's up? What's going on? You're wondering why all the Nightbot messages. You know what I think it is, Dylan? Everybody is so captivated by my reading of this arrest warrant and telling this story that, I love you too, Dylan, that they're so captivated by it that they're just listening intently, and then Nightbot is modding alone. Let me see. What's going on? Let me see what's going on. Funny stuff? Nightbot is saying, please allow the moderators, blah, 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 blah. You can support the channel. Oh, Brenda said that each time I slam my drink, it's so loud and you jump. Oh, sorry, Brenda. I don't want to make you jump. Very sorry, Brenda. Please don't jump. I'm looking at Nightbot, but I really do think that's what it is. I think that everybody's so captivated, and then Nightbot is just doing that. Carolyn, you know Nightbot shows out for me. Yeah, shows up for you. Yeah. I don't know why I was talking about jelly beans. If I said jelly beans, just please ignore it. We're almost done with this. Let's just finish this. Let's see. So, Fotis is in real financial trouble, if you haven't guessed it, right? He's in real financial trouble. In March, April, May 2019, he's not making interest payments. On May 31st of 2019, his debt exposure was approximately $7 million, consisting of $4.5 million in balances due on lines of credit, in addition to a possible $2.5 million civil lawsuit brought about by Jennifer's mother. It appears that Dulos was failing to make even minimal interest payments on multiple loans. Each of the 5 Dulos children had a trust fund established by Gloria Farber and her late husband, Hillard Farber. The total amount of these trusts was more than $2 million. In the event of Jennifer's disappearance and in the subsequent event that Fotis Dulos gained custody of his children, well, he would have expected some level of access to his children's trust funds via an intermediary for such expenditures as room and board, education, and others. Dulos can reasonably be expected to have been aware of these facts. Now, this is People's United account, and it's showing his financial situation. Dire financial cash advances, insurance joint with JD, other deposits, People's United Bank, and then it says, that's the savings bank. What is that? The line advances over there in this big chunk over here. Okay, indications that Jennifer Dulos is not alive. The following indications have been determined that Jennifer Dulos is no longer alive. Okay, finances. Jennifer's mother, Gloria Farber, has been power of attorney for her daughter's finances since June 19th of 2019. Jennifer's last known financial activity was a check that was written by Jennifer on 5/23/2019. The last known activity on Jennifer Dulos' checking account was 5/23/2019, and there's been no subsequent activity on any of her known accounts since that date. Detectives have checked with Jennifer's cellular carrier, Verizon Wireless, who has reported no activity on her cell phone since 5/24/2019. Detectives have remained in regular contact with Jennifer's family. They never found her cell phone, right? And close friends, none of whom have seen or heard from her since 5/24. No information has come to light from area medical centers that Jennifer received any in-person treatment subsequent to 5/24/2019. There's been no account holder initiated billing or filing activity with her insurance carriers subsequent to 5/24/2019. Law enforcement agencies throughout Connecticut and the surrounding states have been contacted. Law enforcement databases have been accessed and checked. Numerous physical searches have been conducted in the New Canaan and Farmington areas. Wonder if money was left to the kids. They had the trust funds from Gloria Farber and Hillard. Okay, and several media outlets have broadcast news stories outlining this case. To date, the whereabouts of Jennifer Dulos is unknown. Now we know that now she has been legally declared deceased. Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. On August 15, 2019, Affiant Kimball met with Dr. James R. Gill, Chief Medical Examiner for the state of Connecticut. Dr. Gill was present with a summary of facts thus far, including the forensic laboratory results indicating the presence of blood in multiple locations at Jennifer Dulos' residence. Crime scene, the presence of her DNA associated with those bloodstains, the evidence of efforts to clean the scene, and the nature of the blood spatter analysis. Dr. Gill was also advised of facts associated with items of evidence recovered in Hartford, which were forensically linked back to Jennifer Dulos. Dr. Gill was also provided with photographs of the crime scene and evidence seized in Hartford to assist in his assessment. Following his consideration of the above facts and circumstances, Dr. Gill indicated that based upon the facts of the investigation, the degree of blood loss, as well as other factors, he was prepared to state that Jennifer Dulos had sustained an injury or multiple injuries which he would consider non-survivable without medical intervention. Dr. Gill categorized the event as a homicide of violence to likely include some combination of traumatic blunt force injuries, such as a bludgeoning, beating, or sharp force injuries, such as a stabbing or slashing. Yikes. The Penal Code of the Connecticut General Statutes outlines the crime of conspiracy, which states in part a person is guilty of conspiracy when, with intent, that conduct constituting a crime, be performed, he agrees that one or more persons to engage in cause the performance of such conduct, and any one of them commits an overt act in pursuance of such conspiracy. The Penal Code of the Connecticut General Statutes outlines the crime of murder, which states in part a person is guilty of murder when, with intent to cause the death of another person, he causes the death of such a person or of a third person, or causes a suicide by force, duress of deception, except that in a prosecution under the subsection it shall be an affirmative defense that the defendant committed the proscribed acts or acts under the influence of extreme emotional disturbance for which there was a reasonable explanation or excuse, the reasonableness of which is to be determined from the viewpoint of the person in the defendant's situation under the circumstances as the defendant believed them to be, provided nothing contained in this subsection shall constitute a defense to the prosecution for or preclude a conviction of manslaughter in the first degree of any other crime. That based upon the above facts and circumstances, your affiant John Kimball asserts that there is probable cause to believe that Michelle C. Troconis, date of birth 9/26/1974, did on Friday, May 24th, 2019, in the town of New Canaan, Connecticut, commit the following crimes of the person of Jennifer Dulos, which resulted in her death: conspiracy to commit murder. That affiant John Campbell requests a review of this affidavit of the court and the issuance of a felony arrest warrant for Michelle C. Troconis, date of birth 9/26/1974, and the above charges should there be a finding of probable cause that this affidavit has not been presented to any other court. The end. Signed, sealed, delivered. So that should bring you up to snuff when you watch this trial. You'll know that there's a lot more than just that she was in the car when they were dumping the evidence, okay? And I think we may even hear of more stuff from those other homes. Okay, now I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to open up a new Zoom. It's word cookies. I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me open up a new Zoom. Let me say, now it's time to say goodbye. See you later. I've got to open up a new Zoom. I'm going to end the other meeting, and I'm going to get the invite, copy of the invitation. See you later. See you later. I'm going to find you guys. Where are you? I don't know, it's time to. Okay. General gardening. No, just general. Just general. Okay. There they go. Here they come. Binky can't hear anymore. It's crazy, isn't it? Linda's flying in here. I hope she knows we're live. Hi, Linda, we're live. You know, we're live. Oh, here's some more. Hi.
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 Hey.
Hi. Okay. Dylan came in.
I know, I saw that.
You should call in, Dylan, and say hello. People probably think you're a faker. You don't exist. Okay. Let me get the word cookies. Oh, Painted Black is here.
Yeah.
She's got a red door. Hi, Painted Black. Oh, Margot's here.
Hola.
Don't take your clothes off yet, Painted Black. We're still alive.
No, don't.
Hello.
Hello.
You can leave your head off.
What'd you say about Nightbot? Come on, call in. Let's go. The Zoom numbers are there. I'll get ready to throw my voice. Okay. Now I'm choking on a strawberry. All right, let's do this. Wow, big one.
Dylan said that she'd call in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good.
They got me reading all the flavors of the Jelly Bellies.
Yeah, did I say jelly beans?
Somebody did the last couple of days.
No, I think I just did.
Got a chili mango, pomegranate jelly. I've never heard of these flavors.
Hmm.
Down there. Food flavor, Krispy Kreme flavor.
Allude, okay. No, how about alluded? Yep. Deluge, Kevinson. Deluge. What happened?
Harry Potter flavors.
Dude. Oh. You didn't call in. Dylan, you got to get the number. Get the number. It's in Slack. What is Dylan doing? Email me if you can't get the number. I'll give you the number. You got it. I'll email you right now so I don't I don't know what's going on, but you can't get the number. Why can't you get the number? Hold on. I'm coming with the number. Calm down. Don't get excited. Okay. Sorry. All right, let me call you. Oh boy. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay. Let me see. This would be like this. Okay. Got it, I just sent it to you. All right. All right. Okay. Now, back, you monster. I'm trying to find my WordPress. My WordPress. Never mind. Okay. Now I'm trying to find my live chat. There we go. Okay, now, sorry, I'm going to look. Gelded, and Geld. I gotcha. No. Either one are there. Hi 61. Dud. Leg. Do you have one to stand on? I did dual. How about dual?
Oh.
Delude, Quaaludes, Delude. Okay, let's see. Gel, yes, gel. Yes. Dog. Dual. Lude. No. Do. Dog. Gleed. Come on.
Where'd it go?
Come on. Alluded. We did alluded. Edged. I feel I did edged. Ah, we didn't. And then one more.
Edged, deluge, deluge.
Deluge. Deluge. Okay, got it. Close it. And then here's Dylan. Gotta get ready to throw my voice. Okay, I'm ready. Hi. Hi.
I don't see any audio hooked up.
Oh, I've got to get it hooked up. Hold on. Oh boy, I just got
Oh, she left.
I know that was me. I disconnected myself. You know I'm Dylan. Come on, stop. I've got to throw my voice. But he's not
Sorry.
ready yet. Been a long night.
It was Dylan. I saw her.
I know. I'm telling you, it's me. Now stop. Don't fool these people. We really don't have a Dylan. It's me. You know it, Sharon. Stop.
All right.
I know you're trying to cover for that, but don't worry about it. I'll be ready to throw my voice.
All right.
I just need a few more minutes.
Okay. I keep getting comfortable and I fall asleep. I think I'm trying to make up for the sleep I didn't get.
Uh-oh. X-rays.
All in one day. So I should do it. I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, Margot, what did you do with your cord?
Okay, I'm going to try it again. Hello?
Connecting.
Hello?
Still connecting video.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get it all together.
I wonder why it doesn't want to connect.
I don't know.
There it is.
I'm trying on that other device of mine.
Hi.
Hi.
Still doesn't show any
Yeah, I'm
audio
trying to get this
on the...
device working.
Oh,
Hang on.
Oh, yeah. Why?
There's the x-rays.
Nice kitchen, sort of.
Thanks. It looks good, right?
Yeah.
Trying to make it look different. I'm
Does.
using playing around with some AI stuff.
Oh.
Playing around with the AI stuff.
I could even see them.
Mm-hmm.
But you have rooms over your kitchen?
No, it's some AI stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Wait.
Hi.
Oh, hi there.
Hi. Still not working. I don't know what's wrong with this other device.
You got video.
I
You don't
do.
have audio.
Yeah, and then the video looks real. Looks like a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see. I might as well let them see while I'm working on it. Okay. That's good. It
tablet?
does look real. It looks like a real person and stuff, right?
Huh?
It does. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
There's no audio.
I know it's hard for me to throw my voice.
Have to turn your volume on.
There's no audio. It hasn't
You
connected to
can't hear
audio.
us.
Yeah, I
She
can
can't
hear you.
us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Come on, stop. Hiya, Murder of Crows.
Can you hear me?
I can't see the ceiling anymore.
Oh, there go the x-rays. I'll move it like this. Oh, shoot. There we go.
No?
Railway. Sitting in a railway station. Yeah, railway. Air. Mount Airy Lodge. What those commercials last night. Airway. Everybody's coming in.
Yeah.
They all want to see me throw my voice and everything. We're live. We're live. We're live, Elle.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah.
Lawyer. No, there's no E.
Dylan asked if you could send her a phone number.
I did. Dylan's here.
She's here, but she doesn't have volume.
You were wrong again, Kevin.
I know.
Sorry.
No.
Well,
She's asking for a phone number to just phone in.
yeah. Just any of those phone
okay.
numbers. Where is Dylan asking for a phone number?
In the chat.
In the chat under where
Yeah, any of those phone numbers, Dylan. Just call in any of those phone numbers, and you can dial that thing. Everything I gave you is there. Any of those. Okay, who left?
Kevin.
Aw, he heard his fifis. Kevin, are you upset? Did you get your feelings hurt? Don't get your feelings hurt. Come on. You were only partially wrong. Come on, you guys. Yeah, liar. We got liar. Didn't we put liar in there? It's right here, liar. Wiry. Wiry. I have whale. Fees? Fifis? Your fifis are fine. Okay. All right.
Do you have layer in there?
I don't think so. Let's. Now I do. Way. Yeehaw.
Oh.
Okay. Almost there. Almost there. This is a hard one. It wasn't that bad. This would be. Uh-oh. Who's that?
Well,
L.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Warily? Warily, 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 warily.
What is Barbara doing?
Well, Haller, that's what I was thinking of. Nope. Area I already have.
area.
Aria. All right. Well, Dylan, what's going on? Oh, Dylan. Soon we'll be making our... Dylan, come on. What are you doing? Soon we'll be making our... You have all the numbers there. Dial by your location. You have all the numbers, Dylan. Everything is there. I just checked what I sent you. Just in case I was wrong, which I'm not, but just in case. We'll be making another. I hate the way she abuses that chicken. Emotion. I tried everything. Try the number. It'll say, what's your passcode? Come on. How could you not get in here?
She's in. She doesn't have volume.
You've got to hook up your stuff. Look. It's very frustrating. I don't understand why. What's going on? Kevin, want to help? Just dial the number and it'll ask you for the meeting code and password. Just dial any of those numbers. Come on. Okay. Kevin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We really thought we were going to hear from Dylan today, and people were going to see that Dylan was a real person. It just didn't work out that way. Saga, saga. Okay, well, it's 4:14, and I think we're going to have to call it out. Dylan, you can stay on and still try to talk to us after. Thank you guys for coming. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great day and do good things. I love you guys. God bless. Prayers tomorrow. See you later. Good. Bye. Thank you for watching.